How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
AA football. Brought to you as a special sports presentation by Parkview Sports Medicine, a winning combination with the IHSAA, and by Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket. Tonight's game also brought to you by Meyer, proud supporters of youth sports. Momber Insulation, in its 60th year of quality professional insulation. Walburn Financial Management, providing affordable solutions to bookkeeping and tax problems. Midwest America Credit Union, all together better. By Indiana Michigan Power, our power is our people. Amstutz Insurance, finally a firm that works for you. Jefferson Point, shopping with a special point of view. Questa Education Foundation, thinking of college? Help to finance your education? Think Questa. Glenbrook Dodge, your #1 source for Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep in Fort Wayne. By McDonald's, I'm still loving it. By Stiefel, a firm of choice. Alpha PC Mac Computer, we're the other guys, better, friendlier. Aaron Chiropractic, offering relief from neck and back pain. And by Tom Steel Tire Service, building trust with customers for over 30 years. And with special promotional consideration by the Fort Wayne Journal-Gazette. Nobody delivers the goods each morning like the Journal-Gazette. Now, let's head to the stadium and join Joe Parson.
Our Friday Night Lights feature on Focus on Fox takes us to Zoller Stadium, home of the Concordia Cadets. Hi, everybody. Joe Auburn will be with us once again tonight. And hi, everybody. My name's Joe Parson, and we've got Concordia home tonight against Bishop Luers. Both teams below 500 at 1-2, so one of these teams is going to be back at the 500 mark after tonight and feeling a lot better about things than themselves. And Bishop Luers brings its 1-2 record on the road tonight, Joe. The Knights were unable to sustain some early success last Friday night against Homestead, as the Spartans did come away with an 11-point victory over Bishop Luers. And the strength of this season for Luers seems to be in its rushing game, with Jalen Charlton and Ty Hambright both rushing for 2 touchdowns last week. They combined for 154 yards on the ground.
Yeah, very dominant running the football for Bishop Luers, averaging almost 250 yards a game. So really a one-dimensional offense. You mentioned Charlton. He's averaging almost 11 yards per carry. So Bishop Luers has played that smash-mouth football with the 4 senior starters on the offensive line and have really dominated running the football, but they haven't been able to throw the ball. And really that's because of injuries and a lot of guys in and out of the lineup at the quarterback position. But tonight we're going to see Zach Robbins, and Zach Robbins is an accurate passer. And for Luers to win this game tonight, we know they can run the ball, but they have to be a threat throwing the football, Joe, and they have to stretch that Concordia defense, because if they can't throw the ball, Concordia will play 8 guys in the box, and they will make it tough sledding for that Luers run game.
And you'll have to hear what Kyle Lindsay talks about their special teams. Also, it apparently was a disaster last week, and that's coming up here shortly. Kind of the same story a week ago for Concordia against Snyder. Cadets were right there with the Panthers, Joe. In fact, they even had an early 7-6 lead, but Snyder would roll up 330 yards rushing against Concordia in the 41-21 outcome. Cadet defense, though, still noteworthy. They picked off 3 Snyder passes.
Yeah, they got 3 interceptions, did a nice job of changing Snyder over, and they basically made Snyder become a one-dimensional team. Now, we know how big and strong Snyder is, so some teams, one dimension's different than another team, but still, Snyder had 51 carries, Joe, for 330 yards. So that's 6.5 yards per carry. So Snyder could not throw the ball, and they just grinded away at the Concordia defense running the football. So really the key tonight for Concordia on defense is force some turnovers, but stop the run. That's so key for Concordia. And on the offensive side, Joe, a lot of good things going on with the offense. Last week, Concordia did a nice job of throwing the ball against Snyder. Peter Morrison threw 3 touchdowns. What was interesting, though, is Snyder sold out to take away probably you and I, one of our favorite players, Peterson Kurlegan on the ground. So Concordia needs that balance on offense. They need Kurlegan to get back to running downhill. He comes in, Joe, averaging 8 yards per carry. He's got 6 touchdowns, so he is a horse out there running the ball for Concordia. But if they can get that balance with Morrison throwing the ball through the air, that's going to make Concordia very dangerous. And I think of all the teams that have lost some games early on, I think Concordia is the most dangerous, Joe. A couple of breaks and Concordia beats Homestead, and I think Homestead's better than what people, have talked about this year. We're going to find that out tonight with that big game across town. But Concordia really needs this win. Both teams, you don't want to go down 1-3 in this conference.
Two hungry, desperate football teams here tonight. Concordia against Bishop Luers. We'll be back with our Midwest America Federal Credit Union pregame show. After a timeout, we'll check in with both head coaches as well. Tim Manigal will join us the other side of the break. He's up first when we return to Zollner Stadium. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
At Indiana Michigan Power, we're building the future of energy delivery. From renewable energy to grid innovation, we're developing a smarter way to power your life. With the addition of 4 new solar power plants, you can take comfort knowing that more than half of the electricity that we generate is emissions-free. I&M is honored to sponsor local area high school sporting events and proud to be your hometown energy provider.
American families are facing a major problem nowadays. It's called extreme student debt. It's affecting graduating students, even those with jobs, for years and years trying to pay off their student loans. But there is help available to students in Northeast Indiana. From nonprofit Cuesta Education Foundation, Cuesta is ready to provide low-interest or even forgivable loans to qualified Northeast Indiana students. Take a second look. Check Cuesta to see if your student qualifies for a chance at graduating with as little student loan debt possible. Cuesta can make a difference. And it all starts with simply logging on to QuestaFoundation.org. That's QuestaFoundation.org. The game just isn't the game without you. When pain or injury has you sidelined, call Parkview Sports Medicine at 260-266-4007. Whether you're an aspiring pro or a recreational athlete, our team of certified orthopedic surgeons, physical therapists, athletic trainers, and registered dietitian nutritionists will provide you with rapid access to comprehensive care and sport-specific rehabilitation. We can get you back to the action quickly and safely. Just call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine, your dream team. You've heard the saying, it's all about the Benjamins. Nothing could be more true at Tom Steele Tires, where it's all about saving you money. For over 35 years, this family-owned business has been saving Fort Wayne drivers lots of Benjamins. Offering quality tires and ASE-certified mechanical service for your car, and that includes an oil change and tire rotation special, all for just $24.95. 2 convenient locations in Fort Wayne to serve you. Tom Steele Tires, not just a tire store, but a complete automotive center.
Time now for the Midwest America Federal Credit Union pregame show and a special visit with coaches to set the stage for tonight's game. Let's head back to the stadium with Joe Parsons.
We are back. Let's check in with head coach Tim Manigal. One thing about Concordia, Coach, cadets always come to play. They always play hard. They always come out on top. Looking at last week, it's always a tough assignment. You go against Snyder. You're hanging with the Panthers. Got the lead in the first quarter. I think it was 20-13, 20-14, even into the second half. And they love to run the football, don't they?
Yeah.
330 yards, I think, rushing. Talk about the game and your analysis of your team's performance a week ago.
I would say, by and large, we were pleased with the way we played. You said it. Snyder's a really good team, and we had 4 turnovers in that game, 2 of which were in the red zone, 1 of which was at the 1. We fumbled at the 1, threw an interception. I think we were about the 15-yard line there. And you can't really do that in any game, let alone against Snyder. So that hurt quite a bit. They are a great team and eventually wore us down. But we were really pleased with our effort. And you're correct, we were in the game in the third quarter. So I think you take from that the fact that our team is a pretty good one, regardless of what anyone may say. And we've just got to start now finishing games a little better than we have.
I want to take it a step further. Again, looking back last week, couple of positives. The combination of Peter Morrison and Mark Mellors, 3 touchdowns, that speaks volumes. And, you've had a steady diet of very productive, steady quarterbacks, and it looks like Morrison continues that trend.
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, he's a good quarterback and probably even more importantly, a great leader for us. Just a tremendous kid, high character. and really commands the huddle and commands our offensive unit probably better than any kid I've seen in 20 years at Concordia. And then our receivers, for the most part, have always tended to be pretty solid. And I think we have another solid unit here. They're not always spectacular, but they'll make all the catches we need them to make, very few drops. And last week, Mark had a good game. Colton is an outstanding receiver. And with that, Keaton Kohlinger had a nice game last Friday. Tyson Chambers is coming on. And we've got some other guys that we could put in as well. So, yeah, we're absolutely happy with Peter's play. And I think if that continues and he continues to improve, remembering, of course, he's only really started 3 games in his high school career, even though he's a senior, again, that bodes well for us as the season moves along.
Let's talk about tonight against Bishop Luers and the importance of the run game, both sides of the ball. I know last week Peterson and Curligran kind of struggled a little bit, and again, Snyder, a big night, and this is a Luers team that with Charlton and Hambright, they love to run the football. Talk about the matchups and the things you've got to do to win.
We approach every week thinking we have to stop the run. Some weeks that's easier said than done. Last week was one of those weeks. Snyder is tremendous up front, particularly their defensive line. So I'm hoping that Snyder's defensive line was just that good, and it wasn't our inability to block them. You are right, Luers has some great running backs. We're going to need to stop them. I think the general philosophy is if you can stop the run at the high school level and make the other team throw the ball, you should be in a position to have success. We did not do that last week. We did not do a great job of that against Homestead, a better job against Southside. And there you go. We won the Southside game and did not win the Homestead and Snyder games. So we got to stop those 2 guys. They're great football players. They look tremendous on film. If we don't do that, it'll be a long night for us.
Such a simple game, isn't it, Coach?
Well, yeah, in theory.
Head coach Tim Manigault in his 7th year as head man of the Concordia Lutheran Cadets. They come in at 1-2. They are ranked, though, in the 3A AP poll, number 22. A year ago, they were 5-6 overall, 4-5 in the SAC. They beat Norwell 51-0 in the sectional, then lost at Belmont 38-7. And the loss to Belmont, something in common with Bishop Luers last year. And we'll talk more about the Knights when we return after this 2-minute timeout. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
The Midwest goes by many names. The Heartland, the Corn Belt, the Crossroads of America. But for you,
and we are back talking
more important one, home. It stands for the simple things: family dinners, baseball games, and long country drives with the windows down, bonfires, barbecues, and ice cream cones on a Sunday afternoon. And it stands for the values that make all of these things possible. You've built your life around Midwestern values. At Midwest America Federal Credit Union, we have too. That's why we've dedicated ourselves to supporting our members as they work toward their dreams. As your hometown financial partners, we offer practical, dependable service. And since 1936, hardworking families have trusted us to help them with their most important purchases, from mortgages to auto loans and everything in between. Midwest America Federal Credit Union, for your home, for your family.
Here's some good policy from your local agent and Auto Owners Insurance. When your insurance policy comes from us, it comes with something extra, a real person. Don't buy from an insurance company with an 800 number and a voicemail menu. Auto Owners Insurance operates exclusively through local independent agencies here to help you 24/7. Now that's good policy.
Call Tom New and Schwander at Amstutz Insurance with offices in Fort Wayne and Ossian, 260-622-4169.
Dude, I'm pretty nervous for this date.
Nah, you got this. First dates are all about finding what you have in common.
Like putting sweaters on dogs?
Sure, but I was thinking about going to a place you both like, where you both can get your favorites.
Oh, like McDonald's.
Exactly. But do yourself a favor. Please, don't tell any of your elevator jokes.
But they work on so many levels.
Here's a deal that's no joke. McDonald's new McPick 2 for $2.50 menu includes McDouble, 6-piece chicken McNuggets, small fries, and hot fudge sundae. Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Price of single item posted on menu.
And now, back to the IHSAA football game of the week with Joe Parson. On Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
And we are back talking Bishop Luers football with head coach Kyle Lindsay. And Coach, last week everything started well enough, had 21 points in the first quarter against Homestead, but the Spartans come out on top in the end. Take us back to that game and analyze a little bit what could have gone better from a Luers standpoint.
First and foremost, special teams. It's something, believe it or not, we practice a lot on. If you were at the game or if you've seen film of it, you wouldn't, or saw the highlights on any of these local news channels, you wouldn't have guessed that we worked it at all. But for whatever reason, we didn't cover well. We, as a coaching staff, have tried to pinpoint those reasons, and really, as much as we've worked on them, we probably worked on them twice as much this week. It was unfortunate. We got a scorching hot start. It looked like offensively we're going to do whatever we wanted to do there for a while, and we got early momentum and lost it immediately. Any team that returns 2 kickoffs in a game probably can come out on top, and at the end that was the difference.
Let's talk about your running game. With Charlton and Hambright, 2 touchdowns each last week. What sets them apart? What makes them special?
They both have different styles. Both of them, I think what they have in common, they just have a will. They run the ball with a lot of heart, and it's fun to watch. Ty, the yardage doesn't show, but he picked up some tough yards last week. And then Jalen, he's a special talent. He's got elite speed, and when he breaks that line of scrimmage, if he gets to that second level, there's a chance he's going to take it to the house every time. I think as much as anything, they're both gritty. They're easy to coach. They're fun to watch.
Let's talk about the matchup against Concordia. Normally you'd think, hey, we got to stop Peterson Curligran, and maybe that is the case. But last week they threw for 3 touchdowns. Talk about the matchup from a Luers standpoint.
Yeah, no matter what you see in the air, when Peterson Curligran's on the field, eyes have to go on him. You have to be sharp in your pursuit angles. You have to try to win the line of scrimmage, obviously. But Morrison, that he's a special. He reminds me a lot of his brother. His ability to escape sacks, to prolong plays. His receivers, I think, as well as anybody in the city, they're so well coached, adjusting their routes. When he leaves the pocket, when he's scrambling around, he buys time and they find open space. It's really fun to watch. It's not fun to watch on a Friday night. It's fun to watch on film because there's a lot more than just lining up, taking a snap and running routes. They're very well coached, and that goes to every aspect of their game. Concordia's Coach Manigal does a great job. So well coached, so fundamental. They don't beat themselves. And that's definitely true, on the offense side of the ball as well.
Head coach Kyle Lindsay in his 4th year. He brings his Knights on the road tonight, 1-2 overall. They are ranked number 9 in Class 3A, both the Associated Press and the coaches poll. A year ago, they were 8-4, 6-3 in the SAC. They lost to Belmont. Remember, Belmont also beat Concordia to knock them out of the tournament. Last year's 21-7 in the sectional championship with Belmont over Bishop Luers. Waiting for the meeting at midfield, the coin toss, the reenactment of the coin toss coming up when we return to Zollner Stadium. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
True Goodness Foods by Meyer are made from the philosophy of less and more. Less of what you don't want and more of what you do. There are no hormones or antibiotics in the raising of our meat. And True Goodness Foods never contain any high fructose corn syrup, artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. We use wholesome ingredients, like peanut butter made from just peanuts, and tortilla chips made from corn, oil, and salt. That's it. And at low Meyer prices, True Goodness is good food your family will love. Find True Goodness Foods at your local Meyer today.
You're listening to the high school football game of the week on WGL Fort Wayne, Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Referee tonight is Chris Clivequin, and he's got the co-captains. Let's go down for the introductions.
Shake hands. All right, guys, thank you. All right, Bishop Luers, I have you winning the toss, receiving, and Concordia kicking that way, correct? All right, fellas, let's do this. Still tails. All right, step around here, guys.
There you have it, Joe. Luers wins the toss, and they want the football early on, so a little bit of a surprise there. They really want to get their run game going. Field conditions, field's in good shape. Grass a little bit high. Those of us that like to throw the football and a lot of speed, like the grass a little bit shorter, but the field's in good shape. Weather-wise, it's spitting just a little bit of rain, not much, but I think it'll probably clear off. Should be a good night for football and a big game for both teams, Joe.
Cloudy skies, basically 82 degrees ahead of kickoff. Winds out of the east-northeast at 2 miles an hour. We'll be back with the opening kickoff. It's Bishop Luers here at Zollner Stadium against Concordia. IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
The market goes up, the market goes down. And if you're a typical investor, you may be playing games, trying to guess correctly when to buy, when to sell. That can be expensive and exhausting. Well, what if there was a local company with tons of investment experience to help you take some of the guesswork and worry out of investing? The name is Stifel, specializing in individual portfolio management. Stifel can help reduce the risk and worry of investing, building you a portfolio of quality, performing stocks and bonds. Give Stifel a call at 260-459-3989. Let's get back to the stadium with more IHSAA football action and Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Welcome into Zollner Stadium with everybody. I'm Joe Parson, and we're getting ready. Joe Walburn to join us. Deshaun Bussell had 3 kickoff returns last week against Homestead. Had a long of 46. He's the deepest of a trio. He waits back around the 10-yard line. Morrison's ready to kick the ball away, and we are underway. Squib ball near side, takes a high bounce, bobbled, picked up at the 30, return up across the 35, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Knights, just short of their 40-yard line. Justin Gaston, the younger brother of Charles, who plays over at St. Francis, will give them pretty good field position. 1st and 10 at the Knights' 39-yard line. Early moments of the ball game, first series. As Bishop Luers moving out of the north end zone, left to right as we look at it. White uniforms, dark helmets. Quarterback is Zach Roberts. Has 2 wide to the short side to his right, offset running back to the left side. I presume that's Charlton. Little motion now, Bussell, and the second back through, and that's a run up, hit at the 40 to the 41-yard line as they push the pile forward to about the 42. And Jalen Charlton, who had 95 yards on the ground last week against Homestead. 2 rushing touchdowns, Joe, but as you mentioned, they've been able to run the ball, but not so effective as we've seen Luers teams throwing the ball in recent years.
Yeah, very one-dimensional, and they have not thrown a touchdown pass yet this season through 3 games. So that tells you an awful lot.
This time the wide side's to the left, 2 wide out there. Robbins out of the pistol, short drop, looks near side, throws, has the catch. That's for a short gain. Little comeback pattern by Carter Gilly, a 6-foot senior, had 1 catch for 4 yards last week. It'll bring up 3rd down and still about, let's call it a long 4.
And that's a good play call, to get your quarterback warmed up. Just run the little hook to the short side. That's an easy pass to complete. So a good play call for Bishop Luers, and to get that confidence for Zach Robbins. He's only thrown 18 passes on the season, Joe.
And those all came last week, 12 of 18, though, for 67%, 177 yards. Needs 4 right now, trying to get out to his own 49-yard line. 2 safeties back for the Cadets. Here's Robbins, gives Charlton trying to sweep to the left side. It's not going to get there. He's knocked down back at the 45, so good defensive penetration off the defensive right side by the Cadets, and it'll bring up 4th down and 4.
Yeah, big stop for Concordia. Looked like Drew Bordner got in there, Joe, and made the play, and he had 11 tackles last week against Snyder, so Bordner is a great player at the linebacker position, and he makes the recognition and scrapes and makes the play, so a big stop.
Grahovac, 2 punt returns this year. He's averaging about 6.5 yards a punt return, is back deep. And Mallers looks like he had 1 punt return this year for 15 yards. Peyton Howe does all the kicking for Luers, waits at his own 31-yard line for the snap. Got it, the rush is coming, the kick is way low, end over end kick, that they bound away from it. It hits inside the 20, takes a Luers bounce all the way down to the 16-yard line. So Concordia caught a little bit indecision that time, whether to come up and try to snag it. They decide to let it go, and it cost them another, 9-10 yards.
Yeah, you want to come up and catch that football if you're the return man, because you'll see it tomorrow and on Sunday. When you let that ball roll, it can really make a difference in field position. And you feel a little different as a quarterback when you start, inside your own 20. It makes you be a little bit more careful with the football.
So the Cadets come up to the line of scrimmage. They'll have it at their own 16-yard line, 1st and 10. First possession of the ball game for Concordia as Luers went 3 and out. 9:39 remaining, quarter 1. Morrison has got motion left to right. That's Kohlinger. Now a little counter run, and Curligran is going to be the main guy. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. As Peterson Curligran, Joe, we talked about, he's probably one of the toughest, hard-nosed runners we've seen the last 2-3 years. Comes in with 331 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns, but only 8 carries, 16 yards last week against Snyder. But then again, it's Snyder.
Yeah, it's Snyder with that big defensive front. But Curligran's one of our favorites. You hear about Presley for Homestead and Woods for Snyder. Curligran's the real deal, has the ability to break a lot of tackles at the point of attack.
Morrison out of the pistol lineup as well. Option run to the right side, pitches the ball. There's Curligran, met, spins up forward. Is going to lose yardage back inside the 14. And great, again, penetration defensively across the line of scrimmage by the Knights. And that was Jimmy Stern that got across there.
Yeah, Jimmy Stern and Garrett Brower did a nice job, Joe, of dissecting that option. You know, Stern from his defensive line positions forces Morrison to pitch the ball, and Brower comes up and makes the tackle. So Concordia's offense also is off to a slow start.
3rd and 11 for the Cadets. They move from right to left as they have got on third down. They were 5 of 9, though, against Snyder last week. And then Morrison taking the snap, short drop, wants to throw, looks over the middle, he's got a man, there's a catch, and they've got a first down. Let's see if that's Mallers. He was the key receiver last week with 3 touchdown receptions.
Looked like maybe it was Collinger that time. And you mentioned Mallers had 3 touchdowns against Snyder. That's huge. Who's ever caught 3 touchdowns against Snyder? I wanted to talk to him before the game. Man, that was an awesome performance.
4 catches, 3 of them for touchdowns. That's pretty good efficiency.
How about Morris on that play, though, Joe? He's extremely accurate. He's completing over 60% of his passes on the season.
2 wide either side of the field now. Spread offense as a short drop and a throw to the right side. And there's Grahovic, can't handle the ball. There's a penalty flag thrown. Procedure looks to be the initial indication against the Cadets. Our referee tonight, as we mentioned, is Chris Klivkin, and that'll cost them 5 yards. Let's check that offensive line for the Cats. They average 241 a man tackle to tackle. Jacob Dahl along with Greg Voss, along with Vershawn Starks to the guards. Trey Freeman, veteran, along with Nick Webb, who's 6'6", 240-pound senior tackle, back again.
Yeah, Nick Webb is a big frame that the coaches feel like with some really weight training, he could really grow into that 6'6".
And how about Trey Freeman, who's 6'1", 285, and still just a baby, a junior. 1st and 15. Curligran up the middle, spinning up across the 30-yard line. So he gets the penalty yardage back. He'll pick up 6, maybe 7 yards.
And I like the draw out of the shotgun there, Joe. It's so effective because when you can throw the football and you line up 4 receivers, the defense has to respect that. And that opens up those run lanes for Curligran.
Peterson Morrison's numbers coming in last week against Snyder. 15 of 27 for the air, 183 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. So he completed 56% of his passes. Now he's got 2nd down. Let's call it a long 8. Looks left, throws right. He's got a man down the slide. He's got a catch inside the 40 to the 30. Chased by Bustle inside the 20 into the 5-yard line. Out of bounds. It'll be 1st and goal. A bang-bang play, and Concordia knocking on the door.
And I loved how Morrison looked off the defense and came back and found Mullers on that, Joe. And there he is. We mentioned him just a couple minutes ago with the big plays against Snyder. But I love the seam route. But what made the seam route work on that time was Peter Morrison looked off Bustle and delivered a strike.
Mallers, by the way, with 5 touchdown catches this year, 3 of them last week, 12 catches, 186 in receiving. From the right side hash mark now, a little motion left to right behind the line of scrimmage. They'll give it to the up back, trying to angle right side. They won't get into the end zone. Knights stop that at about the 3-yard line.
Good push up front by Bishop Luers that time, Joe. Looked like Contrez Jordan was up there again with Jimmy Sturm. So Luers appears to be strong on the front line. And when Concordia tries to run the ball off tackle, Luers has the answer. I think they're better off to get in the shotgun and to give the ball to Curligran right up the middle.
That last play they used Bordner, and he stays in as a wingback off the left side. He took the handoff. Now it's 2nd and goal from the 3. Morrison has got Bordner in motion once again, left to right. Option run to the left side, and it'll be a keeper run. And this time into the end zone. Do they get in? They do. A touchdown. So touchdown, Peter Morrison. That's his second of the year. Time of the score, 6:06. So officially a touchdown run. Well, they're going to call it officially a run of 4 yards at the 6:06 mark.
And showed a lot of strength there. He's only 5'10", 165, but just muscles the ball into the end zone. And a nice drive by Concordia. You see them attack through the air, then they have the size up front to push that ball in the end zone. So big touchdown for the Cadets.
And set up by that skiddy post padded run by Mallers. Here's the extra point attempt on the way by Morrison. That'll make it 7-0 with a timeout here at Zollner Stadium. Cadets on the board early, leading Bishop Luers at 7-0. IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 12:50 the ticket.
Just like your car, sometimes your laptop needs a tune-up. Or worse, a virus issue, completely shutting down and functioning. For who do you turn to for quick help? The answer might surprise you. Alpha PC Mac Computer. We're the other guys, and we're better. With realistic turnaround times for service, more reasonable rates, friendlier service that works with you and solving problems. Don't settle for the other guys. Try Alpha PC Mac Computer, located just 2 blocks north of Glenbrook Mall. Call 444-3557 and ask for Dave. And now back to the IHSAA football game of the week with Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
So the Cadets go vertical to Mallers, sets up the first and goal opportunity with Joe Walburnham. Joe Parson, welcome back to Zollner Stadium. And impressive opening drive by the Cadets.
Yeah, big opening drive with Concordia. Really threw the football well, and I think Concordia feels the urgency of this game. And I'll tell you what, with Northrop improved, Joe, Wayne's better, you know, there's really some teams that are nipping on the heels of teams like Concordia, Carroll, or Bishop Luers.
Backpedaling, that'll be returned inside the 20, and it's gassed and spun around, got to the 25, trying to work right to left across the middle of the field. So here comes the Knights offense back onto the field. They trail it early on. Their second possession of the night, trailing at 7-0.
Now good teams answer. Bishop Luers has been dominant running the football this year. It's time to begin to throw it a little bit. You know, Zach Robbins is a good passer, Joe, and you have Bustle on the outside who is highly recruited. So, you know, maybe a slant route or maybe a fade route here, Joe, but I'm looking across the field and I see one-on-one coverage against Bustle.
Bustle wide to the right side, to the left it is Brooks, and here's a run left side, angled run. That's across the 25-yard line out to the 30. That's Ty Hambright. Got the call. 18 carries, led him in that category last week against Homestead. Picked up 59 yards and averaged just about 3.5 yards a carry. Ran for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he runs good between the tackles. He's a powerful runner. Only a junior. He has 3 touchdowns on the season, and he's a nice combination to Charlton out of the backfield.
This offensive line for the Knights averages 233 a man tackle to tackle. Mitch Geely, well, that's a familiar name. A lot of Geelys been through the ages. Here's a run off tackle, and they got a first down as Ty Hambright turns it up between the guard and tackle off the left side. Needed about 6, got 7. And it'll bring up first down. That is the initial first down of the ball game for the Bishop Luers Knights.
It's a good play call because Luers had some tough sledding, just attacking Concordia, you know, head on with the run game. Now they do some trapping and a little bit of the counter game, and it opens up some lanes for Charlton. So a nice recognition by the coaching staff to just tweak that run game.
Under center is Robin, straight eye formation lined up behind him. Brooks wide to the left side, drops to throw in the pocket over the middle's got a man out there, fought for, intercepted. And yes, it's Mallers that took it away from Anton. Barry goes 6'6". And Mellors timed his leap a little bit better, went up and got it, and Concordia's got the ball back.
Barry 6'6", 215. He's the tight end. Robbins tries to drop it over the middle, Joe, and Mellors just climbs the ladder and snatches it. How about that for an athletic play? You know, you make the big catch, setting up the touchdown, then you come back and make that kind of an athletic play. Those are the plays you want to put together on tape and send those out to some colleges. That was a big-time play.
I know one across town he doesn't have far to send it to.
I bet so.
So it's 1st and 10 at the Concordia 43. They lead it. Maller's in motion to the right as Morrison screens the ball. He's got the catch by Gurligan. Cuts at the 45. Steps out of the tackle midfield down the left side. 40, 38, down to the 37-yard line. Tripped up that time as coming across to make the tackle defensively was Zach Starks for the Knights. But a nice play. Good schematic. Good concept of that play call.
Yeah, great play call. Luers has been rushing hard. Morrison's been sitting back in the pocket. Here comes the screen. And Curligran is so difficult to tackle in the open field. I love him in the screen game. Luers is lucky that play wasn't bigger.
3 wide to the right side. That's the wide side of the field now. 4:32 remaining in the opening quarter. Concordia off the interception. Now they're going to throw the ball. Morrison checks it off, throws in a slot, completes the pass. Maller spins, keeps his footing down inside the 33 to the 32, maybe. Now they're going to mark him down right about that 32-yard line. But a nice throw, pitch and catch, and Maller's a good job of spinning for a couple of extra yards. He'll pick up about 7.
And a good read that time by Morrison. He could have gotten greedy and thrown the ball deeply, took the underneath route. And it's funny, Joe, we come out here every year and do games. Concordia always is well coached and has a good quarterback, aren't they? Over the years, they've had exceptional quarterbacks.
And Kyle Lindsay also echoed the same thought. Spread offense, 2 wide either side of the field now, 2nd down and short. 3:44 remains in the quarter. Curligran up the middle, and boy, he is hit hard. Got maybe about a yard and a half down to the 31-yard line is where they're going to spot him down. And it'll be 3rd down, and boy, this is tough yardage against the interior defense by Bishop Luers. Herman Black has been in there with Devion Swain, Jimmy Sturm, who goes 248, 6'3", defensive end, and DJ Harris.
It's a good front. Luers strengthen their defense as their front 4. And Concordia is having some difficulty running the football.
Grahovic split wide, flanked inside him in the slot. That's Mark Mallers. He has been tough, and they'll give the ball. Curligran looking for some running room angles to his left, and he's not going to get there. Nice open field tackle. That was Gaspin from his cornerback spot that came up and made the open field tackle. That 3 tackles last week against Homestead. It'll bring up 4th down, and if you're Tim Manigault, you might be tempted to go for it with a ball at the 32.
I'd roll the dice and go for it here. You have them down 7-0. You have them kind of back on their heels. This is an opportunity to get some momentum.
You'd roll the dice if you were on your own, too. I know you.
Riverboat gambler a little bit, my friend.
I want to go to Vegas with you sometime. Here we go. 3 wide to the right side. 1 running back. That's Curligran. And Morrison checking the defense. Play clock is down inside of 10 to 8. And Morrison wants to throw. And to throw that one, wow, nobody home. Just white uniforms. And lucky that one was not picked off.
And that's too bad because Morrison that time is throwing the hook and his receiver is running the out. So a miscommunication for Concordia and a big stop for Luers. And now how big was that 3rd down tackle now, Joe, by Gaston to come up and make that play? So now Luers can regroup, and this is where when you're a young quarterback, and I've been in this situation, gotta let it go. If you throw the early interception, you got to be your biggest fan to yourself on the sideline, and you have to let that play go and come back and make some positive plays.
Brooks back in. Jordan Brooks, 78 yards last week. Wide to the left side. Straight eye formation. Deep handoff. That was almost bobbled, and nothing doing that time as Hambright, I believe it was Peterson, Curligran, who came through there and knocked down his counterpart running, and there's going to be a loss by Hambright of about a yard or 2.
That's why I love Curligran. He averages almost 11 yards per carry coming in, but he makes 6 to 7 tackles a game too. And it gets back to with Concordia, they have 4 guys that play both ways. So, you're down to some of these teams that have to use players both ways. But as far as Luers on offense, Robbins did not handle that snap well. And right now, Luers needs to clean up these mistakes on offense.
Bustles in wide to the near side. Straight eye formation once again. Robbins under center. Long count from the line of scrimmage now. Stretch handoff. Gives it off again. Off tackle run to the right side. It'll be short of the 1st down. The carry up to the right. That Charlton brings it out to about the 37. They'll give him another yard to the 38. So another 3rd down call coming up for the Knights. They'll have 3rd down and let's call it 4.
Now, this is a big play for the Bishop Luers offense. And it's also a big play for the confidence of Robbins because I expect Luers to put the ball in the air here. And I really feel like if you have the one-on-one coverage with Bustle, consider the slant, the hook. He did a nice job of throwing the hook to the short side earlier in the game, Joe.
And here's the deep handoff. They're going to run the football, and it will be carried for a first down. Charlton angling and just following blocking out in front that time, and angles near side, and that will be the initial first down of the ball game for Bishop Luers.
And that's been their offense this year. They come in averaging almost 250 yards on the ground, so very one-dimensional, but they're effective. They have that 4 senior starters up front in that offensive line, and really some, decorated players over the years for Bishop Luers playing that offensive line. I really like the left tackle, Trey Underwood, 6'2", 255, the senior.
Knights at their own 44-yard line. Robbins out of the shotgun now, hands the ball, and a run up the middle. This time they've got Gareth Brower, and there's the running back as he carries up for a good gain up to about midfield. That'll be a pickup of about 5, and that should be the final play of this first quarter. So it'll be 7-0 in favor of Concordia as we head back now to the second quarter here at Zoller Stadium. 7-0 Cadets with a timeout on the field. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Hi, I'm Charlie Momper from Momper Insulation. We've been around since 1956, and we're still the #1 name in insulation. Chances are you've seen us re-insulating the home in your neighborhood, where we blow insulation into the sidewalls and attics to make your heating and cooling more efficient. Give us a call and let's talk about all the insulation options we have available to help you save money. I know we can do the job for you. You've got my word on it. Call us at 432-7543.
Every small business person has the same dread: taxes, reports, and bookkeeping. What are you to do? You know you can't afford the big guys to keep you legal and solvent? Well, now there's Walburn Financial Management to save the day. Here's their number. You're going to want to remember this one: 260-459-2240. That's 459-2240. Why? Well, Walburn Financial Management specializes in the little guy. With reasonable rates and sensible retainers, Walburn Financial Management is simply perfect for the small business budget. Let's get back to the stadium with more IHSAA football action and Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Second down and 4 for the Knights. Now they move from right to left towards the north end zone. 1 wide either side of the field, actually 2 wide to the left. Pistol alignment once again. Zach Robbins barking out now. A little misdirection flip. They have Bustle. Bustle looking for some running room. Turns the corner. Midfield 45 and down to the Concordia 41-yard line. Maybe knocked out of bounds, stepped out at the 42. This offensive line, let's take a look. They average 233 a man for the Knights. Mitch Geely at center. Zach Starks and Sam Verslip are the guards. Sam Wiss and Trey Underwood start at tackle. And a good run that time off to the right side. 1st and 10, and the Knights trying to get something going now, trailing in the early going of the second quarter, 7-0.
Yeah, it's nice to see Bustle get involved and also to see Bishop Luers attack the edge.
Gilly splits wide to the short side to the right. 1 back look, Robbins under center, deep handoff, and here's a little bit of a hole for Brower, works off tackle to the right, still on his feet, down inside the 25 to the 20, sheds 1 blocker, 1 tackle I should say, fights us all the way down to the 15 and maybe down as far as the 11. Let's see where did he step out of bounds, or what do we have? They're kind of backing up a little bit. Penalty flag is thrown right in the vicinity where the tackle was made, and that one might go against Concordia.
I think so. It's going to be a face mask, Joe. So that'll add on to the run, so a big play with Luers and an opportunity to tie the game.
Last week, Concordia had just 2 penalties for 15 yards against Snyder. Luers with 4 for 29 yards against Homestead, but this one will move the ball down to the 6-yard line. Maybe just outside the 6. It'll be 1st and goal with the 11:23 remaining in the first half. Knights out of the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. Looks like they'll keep Brower in as the running back, offset to the left and a little bit behind. Zach Robbins at quarterback. 2 wide to the short side, motion out of it. On a sweep, they'll hand that ball, and a great play against Bustle. Ball popped free, but the play is blown dead.
Wow, nice play by Grahovac, Joe, to recognize it and to also bring Bustle down. Bustle's so athletic. It's a great play in the backfield.
That's a gloss outside the 10 to the 11-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and goal now from just inside the 12. Robbins went over the sidelines, got the play And now back in the huddle. Brower stays into the running back, offset to the right side. Bustle up in the slot to the right side. Split wide of him is Carter Gilly. Short drop. And looking to throw. Robbins screens the ball to the right side. It's got Brower. Brower fell down. Ran into his own man inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line. He might have hit a little more out of it.
Yeah, I like the screen call, but that time Brower got eaten up by the turf monster that time and got taken down.
You mentioned the grass a little bit high, right?
It is high. I tell you what, I always like the grass cut real short. It makes you look faster, the game moves faster, and maybe Brower agrees with me after that play, Joe.
I'm sure he will by now. So 3rd and goal at the 8-yard line. The work from the right side hash mark.
It's tough for Luers because you know what? You can run the ball so effectively, but once you get down in the goal line, sometimes you have to be able to throw a play-action pass.
Now Charlin comes back in as the running back, offset to the right and behind Robbins a little bit. 3rd down and goal from the 8. Robbins short drop, wanted to throw, but whistles blow. And let's see, play clock, delay of game against Bishop Luers. And that'll cost them 5, Joe.
I'm sorry, Joe, excuse me. With the young quarterback, you have to help him out and get the play in. When the play comes in late, it takes away his ability to change the play because you're limited with time. So Luers has got to speed up and get that play in. And really, this drive is stalling now, Joe. And this is really a big opportunity for Luers to get some points.
Now that ball comes back to the, they spotted at the 13-yard line, still 3rd down and goal. Spread offense for the Knights, 2 wide either side of the field. Charlton to the running back as Robbins takes the low snap, drops the throw, looks left to the corner of the end zone, and that ball knocked away and nearly intercepted. They jumped the route in the end zone. Concordia did a good job of defending. That'll bring up 4th down.
And Brooks was open initially, but Robbins just didn't have the arm strength to muscle it out there to Brooks, and Concordia was able to recover and knock the football away.
And Peyton Howe is going to come on and attempt a field goal. I believe this would be the first conversion, if he can get it, of the year. It'll be about a 29-yard field goal from the right side hash mark, so angle to the right. The holder is Carter Gilly. 29-yard field goal attempt at the 9:16 mark as Luers tries to get on the board here, trailing at 7-0. From 29 yards, right-footed kick. It's long enough on the way, and it is good. So Peyton Howe with a 29-yard field goal. Points on the board for Luers as they cut into the lead. It's 7-3 with a timeout here at Zollner Stadium. We'll be back. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Where do savvy sports fans in the Summit City go when they need to know more than just the score? It's an easy choice. No other media outlet covers the local sports scene like the Journal-Gazette. You get 7-day sideline coverage from the area's most experienced and knowledgeable sports staff. It's a commitment to Fort Wayne that the Journal-Gazette takes very seriously. When you need to know the story behind the story, nobody delivers the good each morning like the Journal-Gazette. And even when you're on the go, you can still catch up on the latest sports news online at www.journalgazette.net or from your mobile device at www.jgmobile.net. Start your sports day right, every day, 7 days a week with the Journal-Gazette. Let's get back to the stadium with more IHSAA football action and Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Stick around with us, won't you? At halftime, we'll be joined by Katrina Newman of Jefferson Point Shopping Center. She'll be joining us talking about some very big events coming up here starting this September. I think you know her a little bit.
Absolutely. Does a nice job down there. And I tell you, at Jefferson Point, they have so many events. And that play area for kids, I take my boy down there, that play area is awesome because you know what? Your kid can't really get hurt because all the foam and the padding is just awesome. I've had so many good times with my boy down there.
I'll tell you what, Joe, great flower display for those of you who are inclined. I mean, it's spectacular. 7-3 ball game. Luers kicks it away. Low line drive, squib ball. Will filter through, picked up at the 25, return to 30, 35, and out to about the 37. So it'll be decent field position. That's Grahovac on the return, and here comes Concordia now.
And some other scores to pass around, Joe. A big one out in the county, and New Haven's over Leo early, 13-0 in the first quarter. And then across town, many of us like Homestead tonight to win that game, but early on it's Dwanger 7-0 over Homestead. Carroll and Northrop were tied at 7. That's a good matchup. We'll see if Northrop can get over that hangover from Wayne. Snyder's only up 3-0 on South, so maybe a little promising there. And Northside and Wayne, no score early on.
Trips package wide to the left side, but the give is to Curlegram. Bangs into the center of the line and nudges forward up to about the 38, maybe to the 39-yard line. That'll be a tough yard gained of about 1 yard. 2nd and 9 coming up.
And we'll see if Concordia now can answer Bishop Luers' score, and if they can maintain that momentum with their offense. This has been a fast game so far, and the game is really slowed down, and I think that's in Bishop Luers' favor.
We wouldn't know what to do with a quick game, would we?
We're not used to that. We're used to they throw it all over the place, and guys get hurt and cramp, and we're here till 11 o'clock.
2nd and 9. A little spin move. Here's Morrison. Time in the pocket. Throws over the middle, and there's a ball that's incomplete. Penalty flag. Bushell might have got there just a hair early before that ball got in there. Double 2 flags on the penalty, and I believe that one's going against the Knights.
Yeah, I don't think Bussell expected Morrison to throw the football there. Morrison was able to slide step in the pocket and turn his hips all the way around and throw that football to the middle of the field. Extremely well coached the quarterback position to be able to make that throw, and that's what triggered the penalty. I'm impressed with Peter Morrison. We saw a little bit of him last year at times. I thought he was very accurate. I think his game is even better this year, Joe. I was watching him warm up, and he really has a grasp of the position.
And you look at the succession of fine quarterbacks they've had here over the years, and they just never seem to skip a beat, really. Now the penalty moves the ball to the Knights 46, and here's Morrison to throw. Blitz coming up the middle, throws to the right. Grahovic's got it inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. Pretty good coverage that time, but a little bit too little, too late, as Ty Hambright had the coverage. But 1st and 10, they'll move the chains again for Concordia.
And Grahovic has such strong hands to come back and make that catch. And again, that pass was to the outside shoulder. I'm telling you, that is one of the most difficult throws to make. And week in and week out, whether it's Shanley or whether it's Morrison here, or the different quarterbacks we have seen all season long, a lot of them do a nice job making that throw, Joe.
Tyson Chambers in wide to the left side. He's the lone wide. There's Mobin now. Collinger right to left behind the line of scrimmage, but Morrison drops, pumps, now throws, and there's a one-handed attempt by Mallers, but couldn't find the handle at about the 13-yard line, and no coincidence, he's basically drawing double coverage right now.
Yeah, I think that's smart because Mallers has been so dominant the last couple of games, and that times it was Jordan with the help over top from the safety. And I think that's a good idea to the short side. Take that number 1 target away and make Morrison, work on the long side of the field, Joe, into some of those other targets.
Joe, they just moved that football almost a full yard back. It was between the 27 and the 28. It's outside the 28 now on the incompleted pass. Short drop again. Morrison to throw. Rush is coming. Escapes it. Flush to his right. Runs down to the 20 and got to the 19-yard line. And that's one thing Kyle Lindsey talked about in the pregame interview, the ability to avoid taking sacks by Peter Morrison.
Yeah, and if I'm Bishop Luers, I absolutely hate that. It's hard enough to defend the pass. That time Luers gets the scrape from the defensive end upfield, forces Morrison out of the pocket. Everybody's covered, and he runs the football. Those are the plays as a defensive coach you just can't stop. You can't account for that quarterback who's going to tuck the ball and get upfield.
It'll be 3rd down and short, 3rd and about 1.5 yards. Ball's inside the 20-yard line now, under center, and there is a straight-ahead carry by quarterback Peter Morrison, and he will be all the way down inside the 17, close to the 16-yard line, 1st and 10.
And you'd be amazed in situations like that. You go up there to get the snap, and you see the splits are so wide, they're going to rush me so hard, I can just get the snap and get a couple of yards. And that time Morrison recognizes it, and Concordia trusts him to make that decision, because I guarantee you that was not the play call in the huddle. That's a quarterback, having the experience, being a senior, and recognizing that opportunity.
Concordia with a new 1st down at the 17-yard line. Morrison with Curlegrand line behind him, wants to throw again, throws right side, there's a catch made. Grahovic steps out of a tackle, works to the 5, down inside the 4 to the 3-yard line, and here come the Concordia Cadets at the 6:37 mark. They lead at 7-3, and they'll have 1st and goal.
And Justin Gaston that time for Luers lost Grahovic, and Grahovic is so precise with his route running that, it's tough because if you double team Mahlers, Grahovic has the one-on-one coverage, but does a nice job of setting down on the hook, and Morrison just gives him a nice catchable ball.
You know, Joe, you talked about it over the last 2-3 weeks. We have seen some teams that really are playing well.
Yes.
Wayne last week, Concordia tonight, been very impressive. You know, teams that maybe sometimes you kind of tend to look past them. You better not. Option run. Here's Morrison. Now cuts back and goes inside. Will try to get back to the line of scrimmage to the 3. Still pushing the pile down inside the 3. They'll mark him down just outside the 2.
Yeah, I mean, to expand upon your point, everybody wants to talk about Snyder, Homestead, and Dwanger. I mean, Luers was lucky to beat Wayne. I mean, the bottom half of the conference, Wayne, Northrop, some of these schools, even South, they're coming. They're getting better. And we know we talked around the state. This is maybe arguably the best conference in the state.
From top to bottom.
Oh, man, the bottom half of the conference is much, much, much improved. And teams like Carroll and Luers always felt like they belonged in that top tier. You better watch out because, you know, Concordia, Wayne, Northrop, they're coming.
Second down and goal just inside the 3-yard line. Here's the stretch handoff. Curligran tripped up, fights for the end zone. Did he get in? Looks like he stopped just short. So he will need about a half a yard.
I thought he had it. He was just a little bit short. Typically, Curligran breaks that last tackle and goes across the end zone. So Luers is stout up front. Now it's going to be interesting here. You're going to find out with Concordia's offensive line how much belief do they have in their offensive line to run the football here, because this is where Luers is at their best with that stout defensive line.
Third and goal from just inside the 2-yard line under center. And Morrison calls his own number again. Power straight ahead into the end zone. Touchdown. Officially a touchdown run of 1 yard. They're going to say officially 1 yard at the 4:38 mark. And tack on another touchdown. Peter Morrison in the end zone, his second touchdown run of the ball game. And that'll make it 13-3 in favor of the Cadets.
Call me nuts. He only goes 5'10", and he squatted so low there, Joe, that I think he was at his advantage. I think if he was taller, he would have had a more difficult time getting in the end zone, so he was such low to push it in.
Extra point looked like that might have been partially blocked, but it's still good. Right between the uprights, so the extra point counts, and it's a lead of 11 for Concordia at the 4:38 mark. Getting cloudy here at Zoller Stadium, but we'll be back with the Concordia kickoff. They lead at 14-3. IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
At Indiana Michigan Power, we're building the future of energy delivery. From renewable energy to grid innovation, we're developing a smarter way to power your life. With the addition of 4 new solar power plants, you can take comfort knowing that more than half of the electricity that we generate is emissions-free. I&M is honored to sponsor local area high school sporting events and proud to be your hometown energy provider. And now, back to the IHSAA football game of the week with Joe Parsons on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Well, I'll tell you what, all of a sudden, we had the sun raking through here in the first quarter, but it has gotten very dark and kind of billowing up a little bit to the northwest out of us, but you were saying you got a little spitting rain down there for the coin toss. Let's hope it stays away.
Yeah, a little bit. It's also getting dark for Bishop Luers now. So for Bishop Luers, you need to put a drive together here and get a touchdown. And we talked about in the pregame, Joe, I think Concordia, maybe in the area, is maybe even in the state, the best 1 and 2 team around.
Bussell receives at the 20, got ahead of steam as he works to the right side across the 30-35. Carries up to the Knights about the 37, maybe the 38-yard line. We'll see where he actually stepped out of bounds. But it'll be decent field position for Bishop Luers, but they have their work now as they trail it 14-3.
And it's interesting, you know, Snyder has a package where they can run the Wildcat with hip and hammer, you know. It makes you wonder if Bishop Luers would have a package like that with Bussell, because Bussell is that same type of explosive player that hip and hammer is.
You know, we've been coming up with nicknames, and I want to call him Hustle and Bustle, you know, in the worst way.
He's special, boy. I tell you what, they've really had some special guys out of Luers lately.
Power eye off to the right side. They gave it to the fullback, but nothing is there as Concordia stops that for a loss back at the 36. That'll be a loss of a couple.
And they're just squatting on the run right now, Concordia is. And you can see those safeties cheating up, and Luers is just going to have to throw a couple deep balls to keep Concordia honest.
That was Luke Fisher. They had tried to get some running room, found none, so it'll be second down, and let's call it 11. Clock will move inside of 4 minutes, time remaining in this fast-moving first half. Again, the offset eye to the right side as Robbins looks, hands the play action fake, wants to throw the ball, and that one slipped off his hand and incomplete. You could tell it kind of took a high arcing motion, Joe, over towards the Knights bench, and just like that, it's third down and long.
And sometimes that ball just slips. You know, you try so hard to keep your hands dry. And I liked it because my center always kept a towel on my center. And there was something comforting about wiping my hands off before I got the snap. You know, it almost becomes like a nervous twitch, you know, but there's something comforting about that. And you got to keep your hands dry.
That's your security blanket.
Absolutely.
Third and 11. Bussell splits wide to the right side. Charlton, the running back, offset to the right. They've got to get to the 48-yard line of Luers to convert. Long count from the line of scrimmage, 3 wide to the left. Here's the drop, and they'll screen the ball. Middle screen, Bussell's got it, looking for running room. And spun around and dropped, gets back to the original line of scrimmage at about just outside the 38, and that's about it. So it'll bring up still 4th down and 9. And we'll see Peyton Howell come on to punt the ball away for Bishop Luers.
Boy, Concordia had that one scouted, didn't they? Concordia is very well prepared, and they were waiting for that from Bishop Luers.
Maller's back in punt return. And it'll be Peyton Howell as Luers was short a man. Play clock at 16. They've got time. Game clock approaching 3 minutes. Time remaining in the first half. 14-3. Cadets about to get the ball back. A high snap, and Howell runs up to it. Got it away. Nice floating wobbly ball. That'll be caught. Fair catch at the 32-yard line. That's Grahovac who called the fair catch. And Concordia with another opportunity trying to expand on this 14-3 lead with 3:01 remaining until intermission.
Yeah, a chance to move the ball down the field and get some more points. And for Concordia, you know, the tough loss to Homestead, the 1-point loss to Homestead. And really, they hung with Snyder last week. You know, Snyder obviously had 4 turnovers, but Concordia was really kicking themselves because they had 4 turnovers. But I think as the season goes on, the playoffs come, Joe, I think you're going to see a Concordia team that's going to finish, you know, maybe 6-3 in the conference. I think Concordia is that good of a football team.
Concordia splits the field again, 3 wide to the right, the wide side option run. The pitch comes to Curligran and trying to step out of a tackle, and he does. Cuts to the 30. Cartwheels forward off a missed tackle up to about the 36-yard line. Again, 2 of the Knights had a shot at him, and it was Gaston that slowed him up enough, but still a gain of about 4. No, let's call it close to 5 yards by Peterson Curligran.
That was all Curligran that sets up Concordia into a makeable second down.
And again, they'll hand the ball off to him and cuts it out, gets by 1, spins across the 40-yard line. He'll pick up a couple of yards. That'll bring up 3rd down as Concordia trying to reach their own 42-yard line with 2:20 remaining in this first half.
Big play here for Bishop Luers. They need a stop.
From the left side hash mark, under center. Here's Morrison. He passes the ball left side. Double pass coming up. They got Grahovic at the 45, 40 in a foot race. 30, 20, 15, 10, and a touchdown. How about that? A double pass. Good for 55 yards. 55 yards unofficially at the 2-minute mark. A little razzle-dazzle by Concordia and a touchdown on the board to make it 20-3.
And Bishop Luers just didn't see it coming. The double pass to the wide side, and Grahovic hogs it in and takes it to the house. And it's interesting because on that play, Curligran got hurt, and he's sitting on the bench with an ankle issue, Joe. But how about that for a trick play? Couple of runs to put Luers to sleep, and the big touchdown pass.
Bordner with the hole. The kick is on the way, and that is good. So 21-3. Concordia, ranked number 22 in the 3A poll as far as Associated Press, and right now they've got the edge on 9th-ranked Bishop Luers, 21-3 here at Zoller Stadium. And this is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
No network is better equipped than Fios from Frontier to handle all of your devices. Get Fios TV, Internet, and voice from Frontier for $89.99 per month for 12 months with 2-year agreement and qualifying new services, and you'll receive up to a $400 Amazon.com gift card. Call 1-888-FRONTIER. Limited time offer for qualifying services, subject to availability. Amazon.com gift card requires a 2-year agreement and maximum $400 early termination fee on new TV, new Internet, and new voice services. Taxes, fees, and other restrictions apply. Fios Market owned by Verizon Trademark Services, LLC, and used under license. See offer for details.
Let's get back to the stadium with more IHSAA football action and Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
So Concordia pulling out all the stops here tonight at home as they use a little razzle-dazzle as Morrison passes the ball behind the line of scrimmage and a double pass to Grahovic, who was wide open, caught Luers napping, and Grahovic legs in the final 25 yards into the end zone. A touchdown for the Concordia Cadets. They lead it 21-3. Now Morrison ready to kick it away again. High end over end, short, backing up. It'll be fielded at the 20-yard line. Run across the 25 to the 30. And here is Gaston across the 30 up to about the 34, maybe the 35-yard line. As Bishop Luers with 1:53 on the clock trying to get something going here before intermission. As Concordia will get the ball to begin the second half. So key final 1:53 for both teams here now. Carter Gilly will set up part of a trips package wide to the right. Split wide of him is Deshaun Bussell. And Robbins barking out the signals. Long count from line of scrimmage. Wants to throw. Loads, throws to the right. And that one is incomplete. Boy, that was nearly trouble. In and out of the hands of the would-be receiver. It might have been intended. They had two players right in the vicinity. I believe it was intended for Bussell, but tried to run with it before he had the ball put away, and that'll take the clock down on the incompleted ball to 1:48 remaining. Second down and 10 with the ball still at the Bishop Luers 35-yard line. Check that Concordia defense right now, just one safety back. Two wide to the right, two wide to the left for the Knights. On second and long on the draw, they hand the ball off, and that's not going anywhere. Charlton wrapped up, and a loss as Grahovic came up in run support and made the play, but also was Trey Freeman there. Loss of one brings up third down and 11. And we'll have a stoppage right now. It'll be third down and 11 with 1:40 on the clock. Concordia may have called a timeout as they want more on the board. 21-3, the Cadets on top with a pause down below. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
American families are facing a major problem nowadays. It's called extreme student debt. It's affecting graduating students, even those with jobs, for years and years, trying to pay off their student loans. But there is help available to students in Northeast Indiana from nonprofit Cuesta Education Foundation. Cuesta is ready to provide low-interest or even forgivable loans to qualified Northeast Indiana students. Take a second look. Check Cuesta to see if your student qualifies for a chance at graduating with as little student loan debt possible. Cuesta can make a difference. And it all starts with simply logging on to QuestaFoundation.org. That's QuestaFoundation.org.
And now back to the IHSAA football game of the week with Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Joe mentioned that Preston, or I should say Peterson, Curligran might have been nicked up a little bit trying to see him. I don't see him on the bench right now. We'll check into that. And I'm sure Joe will want to check with Tim Manigault. Right now, minute 40 remains. Third down and 11 for the Knights. Again, split three wide to the right side for Zach Robbins out of the pistol. Barking the signals, drops to throw again. Steps up in the pocket and slipped out of his hands. That one is caught by Bussell on the comeback pattern. He's got a first down. Concordia thought they had an interception, but Bussell slipped in from the blind side, leaped for the ball, grabbed it, and it turns it into a first down for the Knights. They keep control of the football with 90 seconds remaining. And they'll have it up at their own 47-yard line now, first and 10. Again, three wide to the right side. And here is a run play. They'll give it off, and it'll be a short gain to the left side. Charlton has been the running back. He'll gain a yard and a half, couple of yards, up to about the 48. Now Bishop Luers will take a timeout. That'll stop the clock with 1:18 remaining. It'll be second down. Let's call it a short 9. When we return to Zoller Stadium, 21-3 our score. Cadets, IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 12:50 the ticket.
Every great team has focus and talent. At Parkview Sports Medicine, our focus is on you. Our roster includes everything from sports nutrition to keep your body fueled to orthopedic surgery, athletic rehab, and more. Parkview Sports Medicine's got you covered. You can trust us to bring together the top team of experts in sports medicine to improve the performance and treatment of every level of athlete. Go to parkview.com/sportsmedicine to learn more. Parkview Sports Medicine, upgrade your game. And now back to the IHSAA football game of the week with Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Well, you know that the Knights would love to get the ball into the hands of their playmakers. Deshaun Bussell last week had 6 catches for 70 yards against Homestead. Also, Jordan Brooks with 3 catches for 70 yards. So he averaged 26 yards a catch. And Brooks in the game wide to the near side. Again, Concordia will drop 2 safeties back now. And here is Robbins, takes the snap, drops to throw again. Flush to his right side, throws on the run, and there's a comeback catch by Bussell, and angles inside the Concordia 40 down to about the 37. So a nice play, good delivery that time on the run. And now there's a penalty flag, and it's going to be holding against Bishop Luers. So the Knights are snake bit, as that'll cost them a good gainer down into Concordia territory, and it'll back them up. 1:11 on the clock. Mentioned last week, as far as penalties, Bishop Luers had 4 for just 29 yards against Homestead, but that one hurt. They'll mark off the walk-off from the 40 of Bishop Luers, and they'll take the ball back to the 30-yard line. So it will remain first down. Looks like it'll be 1st and 25. First and 27. With the ball right at the 30-yard line. Bussell again, part of the trips package, sent wide to the right side for Zach Robbins. Looks that way as he barks out the signals. Quick delivery. He's got Bussell on the bubble screen as he pushes the pile forward across the 35. That's a good run after the catch by Deshaun Bussell all the way up to the 40. So he gets on some of that penalty yardage back. Clock still running, though, inside of 1 minute. So they'll spot it at the 41 of Bishop Luers. Moving from right to left, they would need to get down to the 43-yard line of Concordia on 2nd down and 17. This time the wide side is to the left, as the Knights set up the right side hash mark. Robbins again looking to hand the ball off, and there's nothing there. Straight ahead carry, and they'll get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe not even that. They'll mark that ball back down just outside the 40-yard line, and that'll bring it up 3rd down and even longer. And let's see if we are going to get another play run here, as the clock is running down to 16 seconds, time remaining. It'll be 3rd down and even longer. 3rd down and about 18. 7, 6 on the clock. 5, 4. Robbins trying to get the play off. He does get the play, I think, and looks to throw over the middles. Got Carter Gilly, makes the catch right at the 1st down stick, but that is it. Time has expired, and it'll be a 21-3 lead for Concordia here at halftime. As Joe Auburn down below. Let's go down and check in with Joe and the coach.
Coach, quickly in the first half, you only give up 3 points to Bishop Luers, and you guys doing a nice job against the run. You know, what's the halftime talk with your guys as far as the success you've had on defense?
Well, we got to keep it going. We worked on it all week. Obviously, last week was a bit of a problem for us, so we worked very hard on drilling the way Bishop Luers blocks these plays, and so far so good. But we haven't finished games very well so far, so that's going to be the message to the team in the locker room here.
Offensively, how big was that double pass? It seemed like that was a huge touchdown, a real gutsy play call.
Well, it was big. I think offensively, we've still got to be better up front. It's a little disappointing that we're not able to run the ball as well as we hope. The passing game is going okay, but still plenty to work on.
Yeah, well, good luck in the second half, Coach. There you have it, Joe. A happy coach down here in the first half, but they have not finished the games the way they wanted to, and that's really about Homestead and Snyder games, Joe.
Very good. Joe Auburn down with Tim Manigault. I'm sure the theme, Mark Schutte from the Journal-Gazette joins us right now, is going to be play 48 minutes, because that's been one of the keys. A lot of these teams, we saw it last week when Luers had 21 points against Homestead, but they only scored 6 the rest of the way. And, Concordia had Luers, or I should say Snyder, at 7-6. They stayed in the game in the second half, but lost 41-21, Mark. But how about your observations of Concordia, the pretty nifty performance in the first half here?
They came out ready to play, and I think they've shown that they are a much, much better team than their 1-2 record indicates. And you mentioned them having a lead. I think they were up 21-0 on Homestead a few weeks ago, and then ended up losing on last second when Morrison's last-second field goal missed. So they've come very, very close, and I'm sure another half, just like the one they saw, Tim Manigault would take that in a heartbeat.
What is it about Concordia that they just find this successions of very competent quarterbacks? You know, they're not flashy, but they find a way to manage the game and get the job done, and it's uncanny, really.
Well, this is another Morrison. Peter's older brother is David, the quarterback at Ball State. So there's some good bloodlines going there, but Concordia always has had solid quarterbacks that can throw the ball and also run. You've seen Morrison score 2 of the touchdowns on some short runs, but it had a couple other big first down runs as well.
You know, for what it may be worth, they've got a backup by the name of Jacob Dorfler, and I asked Dean, I said, is that another one of your sons? He said, no, actually, that's his grandnephew. It is the grandson of Buzz Dorfler, but the Dorfler's got, football genes all over town.
All over the place. I mean, and obviously at Northrop, the head coach is a Dorfler. So, who knows? The bloodlines are going to keep flowing through Concordia, and we'll see maybe next year the Dorfler will be quarterbacking again.
Take us into the mind of Kyle Lindsey here at halftime. You see his team down 21-3. They've got the talent, the skill position players. What has to come together to make them able to come back in the second half?
They've not been able to run the ball tonight. Concordia's really stuffed Luers up front. Charlton hasn't been able to get loose. They've got 2 or 3 pretty strong running backs, and they've not been able to get the running game going. Robbins is only in his second start as a quarterback. He's been able to hit some short bubble screens and some short passes, but I think they're going to have to maybe hit a few open ones with Bussell, or I guess at the end of the half they hit a couple. So I think they're going to have to open things up with the pass to maybe then open things up for Charlton in the second half.
Mark Schutte from the Journal-Gazette joining us here at halftime. We'll enjoy looking forward to your story tomorrow morning in the Journal-Gazette.
All right, thank you, Joe.
And we will take a 3-minute timeout. We'll be back. Don't forget, Katrina Newman will join us here at halftime as part of our halftime presentation from Jefferson Point. A lot of big, exciting events coming up at Jefferson Point. 21-3 in favor of Concordia here at the half. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
It's time for the Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram 10 event, where there's amazing pricing on every vehicle in stock. Get 20% off MSRP on select vehicles, starting with the powerful Dodge Charger. Take 20% off the 2016 Chrysler 300 with tons of bonus cash available. There's also $1,500 of bonus cash on a new Ram 1500, the longest-lasting pickup in America. And there's $500 of bonus cash on the 2016 Jeep Cherokee. You'll also be able to save on the new Chrysler Pacifica minivan and new Jeep Renegade. Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram has the largest selection of vehicles in the area with over 700 to choose from. Shop them all at GlenbrookDodge.com. It's 10 time with 20% off select vehicles, including the new Dodge Charger and Chrysler 300 sedan. Get out of the heat and under the 10 at Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Under the giant American flag on Coliseum and always online at GlenbrookDodge.com.
Ready to give up on your continual neck and back pain, injections, maybe even surgeries? Nothing seems to be working. Maybe it's time to check with Aaron Chiropractic, where real relief could be forthcoming through a treatment plan including manipulation and exercise. Yes, it's true. A return to the quality of life you thought may have been lost forever just might be started with an initial phone call to Aaron Chiropractic. It all starts with identifying the real source of your pain. First analysis, detection, and then treatment. Why put up needlessly with another day of pain? Call Aaron Chiropractic. Get started back on the expressway road to relief. Aaron Chiropractic, 260-492-8811 in Fort Wayne, 492-8811.
behind the scenes of the making of a great play area.
I'm envisioning something really spectacular. Something over the top. Let's draw up some plans.
Yes, JP.
Right away, JP. Excellent idea. Bold move, JP. Bill, get right on it.
I see a large fort with a giant cannon to slide down. Let's make it historic. Tie it in with the history of Fort Wayne. And we gotta have it soft so kids of all ages can play. Let's have those blueprints on my desk by Monday morning.
Jefferson Point and Lutheran Children's Hospital ER presents Fort Wayne's largest indoor soft play area. Parents can relax while the kids explore a fort, slide down a cannon, and crawl through the 16-foot cherry blossom tree. Over 2,000 square feet of indoor play area, the largest retail play area in the state of Indiana. Bring the kids and enjoy the fun at Jefferson Point. For details, go to jeffersonshopping.com.
There's so much to see. It's where you want to be. Jefferson Point, Jefferson Point.
Welcome to the IHSAA Halftime Show, presented by Indiana Michigan Power. Let's get back to the stadium with Joe Parson.
We're back. It's halftime. Glad you could join us here tonight for this Concordia Bishop Luers SAC matchup, and we're visiting right now at halftime with Katrina Newman, who's Marketing Director at Jefferson Point Shopping Center. And a lot of, as we say, always something new and exciting going on at Jefferson Point. And joining us right now, Katrina Newman, as I mentioned. And one of the events, and it really starts predicated on what faces each of us as adults or family members. What would we do in the event of a various emergency situation affecting us or our loved ones? And the 8th Annual Safety Fair coming up here at Jefferson Point. Katrina Newman, and tell us about it and how that fits in with dealing with the everyday challenges that we all face.
You're right. It's a big event coming up September 24th. It is on a Saturday from 10 to 1 o'clock in the parking lot right behind Carmike Cinemas. You're going to find first responders out there, lots of fire trucks, EMS, police, lots of booths for you to visit just in case we do have an emergency. There's going to be car seat safety check brought to you by Lutheran Hospital. So you come on out, you can get your car seat. Make sure that your car seat is installed properly. A lot of people don't install their car seats properly. You want to make sure that your loved one is buckled in properly. We're also going to have Lutheran Air fly in. It's just going to be a day full of fun activities and a lot of information that you really need to know just to be prepared for National Preparedness Month.
Yeah, you mentioned this is in conjunction with the month of September, National Preparedness Month, and there's also a nice little premium involved. If you happen to be one of the first 200 visitors, you got a free Chick-fil-A sandwich. That's enough to bring anybody out.
That's right. As while supplies last, Chick-fil-A is providing free sandwiches. So come on out. It's a good event, September 24th.
And it runs from 10 to 1 p.m. Let's move on now to the month of October. When we mention October, everybody thinks Halloween celebration. Also something special again at Jefferson Point. And no tricks, just treats. Tell us about it, Katrina.
That's right. We have Trick or Treat at Jefferson Point. And it's a lot of fun because a lot of the kids and the families visit a lot of the merchants. The merchants pass out candy. It's all free. It's lit. It's safe. So come on out on Halloween, October 31st from 5 until 7 o'clock at Jefferson Point.
5 to 7 on Halloween, so be sure to come on out. Then it's on to November, and that, of course, means Thanksgiving. That gives way to Christmas with the lighting of the tree. I know that's always a much anticipated event, and tell us some more about that.
Yeah, the Christmas tree will be lit again, and this year, again, it is synchronized lights to music. That is going to take place, mark your calendars, for November 12th. We like to be the first ones in town to light our trees so that we don't, compete with the other tree lighting events in town, so you don't have to choose. So come on out, mark this on your calendar. November 12th from 5 until 7 o'clock, we're going to have the School of Rock. The little kids are going to perform. They're going to be rocking out. They're going to be our entertainment for the evening. That's going to start at 5 o'clock. Santa's arrival at 7 o'clock, maybe a little bit before. We'll have live reindeer from 5 until 7, and then, of course, we're going to light the Christmas tree sharply at 7 o'clock. So it's just a way to kick off the holiday season, get you fired up for Christmas.
Sounds great. I'd be remiss if I don't mention before I let you go that I've been really amazed at the great ensemble of flowers you've got on display here. I know those are going to be gone probably by November, December, but just a beautiful display, and I know that doesn't happen by accident.
No, it doesn't. We have a great landscaper on property that takes care of all of our landscaping, and we are gearing up for all coming up here real soon. We're going going to be putting out the decorations for Halloween. So you'll see a lot of the pots go away. You know, the flowers are going to go to the greenhouse, and then we'll bring out the decorations for Halloween and Christmas. Fall is beautiful out here at Jefferson Point.
Well, there you have it. Doesn't matter the week or the month, always something special happening here at Jefferson Point. Now back to more football right here on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
At Indiana Michigan Power, we're building the future of energy delivery. From renewable energy to grid innovation, we're developing a smarter way to power your life. With the addition of 4 new solar power plants, you can take comfort knowing that more than half of the electricity that we generate is emissions-free. I&M is honored to sponsor local area high school sporting events and proud to be your hometown energy provider.
American families are facing a major problem nowadays. It's called extreme student debt. It's affecting graduating students, even those with jobs, for years and years, trying to pay off their student loans. But there is help available to students in Northeast Indiana from nonprofit Cuesta Education Foundation. Cuesta is ready to provide low-interest or even forgivable loans to qualified Northeast Indiana students. Take a second look. Check Cuesta to see if your student qualifies for a chance at graduating with as little student loan debt possible. Cuesta can make a difference. And it all starts with simply logging on to QuestaFoundation.org. That's QuestaFoundation.org. The game just isn't the game without you. When pain or injury has you sidelined, call Parkview Sports Medicine at 260-266-4007. Whether you're aspiring pro or recreational athlete, our team of certified orthopedic surgeons, physical therapists, athletic trainers, and registered dietitian nutritionists will provide you with rapid access to comprehensive care and sport-specific rehabilitation. We can get you back to the action quickly and safely. Just call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine, your dream team. You've heard the saying, it's all about the Benjamins. Nothing could be more true at Tom Steele Tires, where it's all about saving you money. For over 35 years, this family-owned business has been saving Fort Wayne drivers lots of Benjamins. Offering quality tires and ASE-certified mechanical service for your car, and that includes an oil change and tire rotation special, all for just $24.95. 2 convenient locations in Fort Wayne to serve you. Tom Steele Tires, not just a tire store, but a complete automotive center.
Here's some good policy from your local agent and Auto Owners Insurance. When your insurance policy comes from us, it comes with something extra, a real person. Don't buy from an insurance company with an 800 number and a voicemail menu. Auto Owners Insurance operates exclusively through local independent agencies here to help you 24/7. Now that's good policy.
Call Tom New and Schwander at Amstutz Insurance with offices in Fort Wayne and Hopkins. 260-622-4169. Miss a great high school game recently? Or simply want to revisit that game-changing electric play that turned everything all around? Well, now there's a great new opportunity to do just that. Catch all the exciting action of our live radio broadcast simply by visiting SummitCitySports.com after our game broadcast. Plus, many other high school sports highlights to choose from as well. It's all new and available now at SummitCitySports.com.
You're listening to the High School Football Game of the Week on WGL Fort Wayne, Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Back at Zollner Stadium, they're bringing the teams on right now, Joe. I wanted to turn things over to you to get an update on some of the other scores. Go ahead.
Yeah, across the area, first the big game out in the county, which a lot of us thought would be a little bit more competitive. It's at halftime, New Haven 20, Leo 3. So we know New Haven has that backfield, but we thought Leo, would give them a little bit more of a test. Over on the southwest side of town, I'm surprised. I'll tell you what, Homestead has ran all over everybody this year. Presley came in, Jordan Presley, averaging 10 yards a carry. He has the most yards in the ground in the area. Dwenger 14, Homestead nothing. So I'll tell you what, Dwenger just finds a way and continues to march on every single season. A good competitive game over at Spuller, Joe. 14-10, Carroll over Northrop, so that's a good game across town. And then Snyder 20, Southside nothing. And then Wayne 9, Northside nothing. So how about Wayne? Wayne hadn't won a game since 2014. We were there last week. Coach was so happy with you in the parking lot because he felt like you brought some good juke. But how about 2 in a row for Wayne? So that would be big. And then how about Belmont? You know, Belmont got off to a slow start. They're beating Norwell 28-7. And then Woodland seems to really be dominant, 28-0 over Bluffton. So some of the scores around the area.
As far as our game here tonight has been really the Peter Morrison show. He scored on an option run to the left side from 4 yards out at the 6:06 mark. That was set up though with a pass to the 5-yard line to Mark Mallers. So Morrison with the extra point makes it 7-0. An interception gave Concordia another chance, intercepted by Mallers at the 43-yard line, but the Knights stopped that on downs. They took over at the 32, but could not do anything with it until they got on the board. Bishop Luers on a 29-yard field goal by Peyton Howe at the 9:16 mark in the second quarter, 7-3 ball game. But Morrison again, as he snuck it in from a yard out at the 4:38 mark. Morrison with the extra point to make it 14-3. And then a 55-yard double pass, good for a touchdown at the 2-minute mark into the hands of Grohovic, who legged out the last 25 yards into the end zone. Morrison adds the extra point, 21-3, where we are here at halftime, an 18-point lead. And Joe, you mentioned, looks like the Storms are moving in. They want to try to get this game going and in as much as they can before, hopefully, bad weather arrives.
Yeah, they want to speed up halftime and get the game moving because we probably have about an hour and a half before some really tough weather comes. So I think we'll see Concordia maybe keep the ball on the ground a little bit more in the second half. I thought Curligran would have a little more success running the football, but Luers has a good reputation of a defensive line, Joe, and their defensive line is excellent. But I've been impressed with the play of Peter Morrison, and I think Peter Morrison was the difference in the first half, and we talked about it. The Concordia quarterbacks over the years are so well schooled, and I thought Peter Morrison, not only running the football but also passing the ball, really dominated the first half. And Bishop Luers just doesn't have that answer at the quarterback position, and really it's almost what kind of plagued Luers last year when they had some kids go down to quarterback position. So now we're going to see what Luers can do here in the second half. We know they can run the ball with Charlton, but they're going to have to throw the ball to tighten the game up.
You had mentioned earlier you thought that Peterson Curligran might have been nicked up a little bit. He is out there in the huddle and walking around. Does not look like he's got any discomfort.
And I asked him on the sideline, I said, "Are you okay?" He says, "Always." He says, "Always, boss. I'm ready to run the ball." I said, "That's my boy, you know, that attitude to go." But, you know, that's the difference between Concordia, though, Joe. Curligran plays both ways. Money Woods doesn't play both ways. Jordan Presley doesn't play both ways. You know, Charlton for Luers doesn't play both ways. So that's the differences with some of these teams. And I think Concordia can be dangerous, but can they stay healthy? You know, when you play this conference game in and game out, and I know I say it every single week, but it is awesome with Homestead and Carroll in the conference. But man, some of these teams that have to rely upon kids playing both ways, it is really a disadvantage. And I have watched that every single game we've done this year. I have counted which team has the most kids playing both ways, and so far it's been South and Concordia this year.
And you wonder, just not game to game, but how about half to half? Because, again, Muggy Night takes a toll, hits add up. Curligran nicked up a little bit. He's out there in kick return. He's got 3 kickoff returns this year, averaging 24.3 yards a kick return. Had 1 last week for 15 yards. He'll get a chance moving from right to left. He waits at the Concordia 11. Peyton Howe tees it up at the Bishop Luers 40. We're ready to go in the second half. 21-3 Cadets about to get the ball. Here's a low line drive bounding ball. Takes a high bounce at the 28. Return across, Grohovic, I believe, across the 35 to the 37. So very good field position for the Cadets to start their first series of this second half on top by 18.
It'll be interesting to see what Luers does here with the front 4. If they'll blitz a little bit, if they'll try to get some heat on Morrison. Did a nice job against Curligran in the first half, but now you have to stop those receivers, Mallers and Grohovic. That's what's hurt Luers in the first half.
And not just, you know, Morrison's so elusive, too, that even when you think you've got him, sometimes you don't. Tyson Chambers splits wide to left, part of a 3-wide package to the wide side to the near side. And here we go, first snap from scrimmage, as it'll be a play-action fake and a throw, and not much there for Morrison. Now throws on the run, and there's a high ball right through the outstretched hands of the intended receiver, Collinger, near side. he had run another 2 steps, he would have maybe had the ball, but maybe doesn't mean anything because there's a penalty against Concordia on a hold.
Yeah, I thought Morrison was lucky to slide step in the pocket to get that ball off, but there was a hold that time, and it was Sturm again in the backfield, Joe, who brought the rush. So good start for Luers to get the penalty against Concordia, and that's going to back Concordia way back, Joe.
So the penalty, Chris Clivekin, our referee tonight.
All the way from Indianapolis. And I'll be a little honest, they were kind of complaining a little bit because last week they were at Pioneer, and they said, geez, they said,
on somebody's list.
They said, man, you drive an hour and a half to Logansport and you take a left and you keep going. I said, who'd you guys upset, huh? Pioneer, Fort Wayne, your Indianapolis crew?
First and long, the rush is coming. Here's a throw of the middle, and that's in and out of the hands. Mallard's on a crossing pattern at the 25-yard line. And you guessed right, Joe, a little more pressure on Morrison. Yeah. Did not have the time to get comfortable there on that throw from the pocket.
I think it's a good adjustment for Luers. That's what they have to do. They've got the good size up front, and they have good backers. Bring the pressure. Don't let Morrison get so comfortable and stand back. And I'm telling you, when you can stand back in the pocket, survey the field, and you have 2 or 3 options, you begin to feel pretty good about yourself.
That's a nice night, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But the minute you get that pressure, especially up the middle, and they begin to hit you, it becomes a different game.
Cadets now spread the field 2 wide either side. And Morrison, short drop again, loads, throws to the right. He's got a wide open catch at the 30. And Grahovac brings it up to the 35, 36. It'll bring up 3rd down and still about 13. They've got to get up to their own 48-yard line on this snap of the football.
And that was interesting. Incrementalism for Concordia. Let's get about 13 or 14 yards, and let's see what we can do on 3rd down. Now, if I'm Luers, I get out of the zone. I don't play real soft here. I man up on the outside, and I bring the pressure up the middle. Don't let Morrison sit back in the pocket and have all day to throw this football.
Sturm and Underwood, part of the 3-down defensive lineman for Bishop Luers now on 3rd down and 13. 11 minutes remain here in the 3rd quarter. Concordia long, here's Morrison, looks near side and has the catch made at about the 41. They'll give him a forward spot of the catch, but that'll be well short by about 7 or 8 yards. So it looks like Concordia will 3 and out, and they'll have to kick the ball away, and Bishop Luers will send Deshaun Bussell back in punt return.
I like Gaston for Bishop Luers. 5'9", only 150 pounds, a sophomore. If he can build his frame, Joe, and grow just a little bit more, he really has the skills to be a lockdown corner.
Nathan Lindemeyer has been doing a lot of the punting for Concordia this year. Waits at the 25, low snap, short hopped into him. Moves around to the right, a low ball that's filtering through, dribbles inside the 40 down to the 30-yard line. Got pretty good distance on that worm burner.
That was so ugly. The snap dribbled back. Luckily, he played it and got rid of it. The ball didn't even get as high as somebody's helmet, but it turns out to be a decent punt, right? And he says, hey, that's all that counts in the stat sheet.
Now Bishop Luers will have their first possession of the second half, trailing it by 18 points. 1st and 10 at the Knights' 29-yard line. Jordan Brooks sent wide to the left side. Bussell to the short side. Straight eye formation behind Zach Robbins at quarterback underneath. Waits for the snap, and he's got it. Gives it to the second back through, and that's Hambright. Hambright angling to his left. He's got a first down to the second level and stepped out of bounds. Back short of midfield. Maybe, let's see, they're going to say stepped out of bounds back around the 43, but that is a good start for the Knights on their offensive possession.
I like it when they attack the outside. Now, I know it's tough to do sometimes in the run game, but Luers has the speed with Hambright, Charlton, and Bussell to get to the outside and attack Concordia there.
1st and 10 now. Knights at their own 43. They'll stay with the eye. They'll hand it off again, and a good acceleration up the middle that time by Hambright as he hits across the 45 and up to about the 47, and they'll mark him with a gain to the 48-yard line, a pickup of about 4.
And you can see the tempo now for Luers. The plays are coming in faster. They're getting out of the huddle faster, and that time they went on a quick count. And, you know, that's how you do. There's little things that you can do to get Concordia off their game.
Call it a pickup of 5. Mitch Geely's snapping the ball at center. Zach Starks and Sam Burslip at guards. Underwood and Wiss are the tackles. And here's again off-tackle run to the left side. That is short of the, the second effort carries out across the 50-yard line and into Concordia territory. It looked like they had him stopped initially back around the 48, but they'll move the chains, and here comes Bishop Luers as now that offensive line beginning to take control.
Yeah, and Hambright's a strong kid. That time he just breaks the tackles and continues on. I thought he was stopped too, Joe, but just the strength to move the pile forward.
They've got it at the 44-yard line of Concordia. Straight eye again. Again, Hambright off tackle left side and leaps over a would-be tackler. Got into the second level all the way down to the 32-yard line. Another first down for Bishop Luers.
And that big offensive line is starting to fire off the ball and get after Concordia. And now all of a sudden Concordia looks a little bit fatigued, and Hambright is just punishing Concordia, hitting that hole. And if I'm Luers right now, I keep it coming. Keep feeding the football.
Bishop Luers, I should say Concordia, trying to make a late change, and they do. But here's an offset run to the right side, and there's another hard-hitting run by Hambright, this time to the right. Cracks inside the Concordia 30 down to about the 26-yard line.
It's just off-tackle right and off-tackle left out of a power eye. This is old-time football, and right now, Concordia doesn't have an answer. Now you see some rotations where they're trying to put an extra backer in there, and now Concordia is going to probably slide into a 4-4 and put 8 guys in the box and try to slow Bishop Luers down.
They'll stay with the I formation. It's been productive for him. Again, Hambright up the middle. This time he's initially stopped. They'll drag him down, but he'll carry down inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line. And it'll bring up third down and still about 3.
Good drive, though, coming out of the locker room. You can tell that Luers really has sucked it up. They're also a good coach team, Joe, and to come out of the locker room and to play a little smash-mouth football.
And you know what it's like in those locker rooms when you're down 21-3. Not pleasant. Robbins under center again. Everything's been a Hambright. There was movement, and Concordia may have just given him an encroachment automatic first down.
And that boy, Zach Robbins. You know, sometimes you struggle a little bit in the game. He's using his mind. He went on the quick snap count all the way down the field, Joe. Then he comes back on 3rd and short and goes on 2. Excellent, excellent thinking, Zach Robbins. He got his team the first down.
That'll move the ball close to the 18-yard line now. 1st and 10. Fisher's the up back in the eye. And they'll stay with Ty Hambright, who ran for 2 touchdowns last week. Luers has not scored a touchdown tonight so far, but on the move. Off-tackle run again, Hambright, and breaks between 2 defenders, angles to his left down to the 15, maybe another yard to the 14. Looked like Concordia had a shot at him in the backfield, but they couldn't catch up to Hambright.
Concordia slanted right into that play in the backfield, and you're right, my friend. They should have made the tackle. That was off tackle to the short side, and I was up here thinking, Jesus, I like when Hambright runs straight ahead because he can plant his outside leg, but he still gets the positive yards. But right now, Concordia has no answer for this rushing attack.
Instead of a loss, it's a gain of 5 at the 13-yard line. And Zach Robbins again looks Hambright. No, on the reverse. This time they work to the right. Little stop and go move, stumbling but still on his feet is Bussell. Breaks it inside the 15, got back to the line of scrimmage to the 13, so ran about 25 yards to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he wanted to get that touchdown so bad, but Mahlers didn't make the play, Joe, but he slowed him up. And I thought Bussell was going to score on that, but Concordia did a nice job of shifting their field, and they have speed on defense, too, to be able to chase like that.
And credit Andy Wade, he got enough of a piece of Bussell to slow the play up till he got help from his friends. 3rd and 5. Already down to nearly 6 minutes time remaining in this third quarter. Still 21-3.
Big play here.
Jordan Brooks splits wide to the left side. Let's see if they stay on the ground again. They will. Hambright off tackle, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. Wow. Squirted through, so it's a touchdown run of 12 yards at the 5:52 mark. And Bishop Luers on the board with a touchdown.
And whatever Coach Lindsay said to his 4 seniors on the offensive line, bottle that, because that offensive line came out and they moved some people on that drive. That might have been the best drive of the season for Bishop Luers. That was impressive, and now we have a football game.
Gilly on the hold. Peyton Howe would attempt to make it a 21-10 ball game. Here's the snap, right-footed kick. A lot of elevation by Peyton Howe, and good. So 21-10 as the situation tightens here at Zoller Stadium. Still 5:52 on the clock. We'll be back. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
No, not yet. Just a little more sleep.
Come on, honey. Rise and shine. Up and at 'em. Let's get cracking.
Give me one good reason to get out of bed this morning.
Well, I'll give you two. Egg McMuffin and sausage McMuffin with egg.
Now you're talking. Race you to the shower. Let McDonald's do the cracking for you with the McPick 2 for $4 special. Get 2 Egg McMuffin or 2 sausage McMuffin with egg sandwiches. Or one of each for just $4. Each served all day long. Limited time only at participating McDonald's. Price of single items listed on menu board.
Let's get back to the stadium with more IHSAA football action and Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Well, Bishop Luers gave Concordia a steady diet of Ty Hambright on running the football and finally broke it into the end zone for the first touchdown of the night for Bishop Luers, 21-10. Joe, what do you got?
Quickly, some of the scores have tightened up. Bishop Dwenger 14, Homestead 7 now at halftime. So Homestead gets on the board to tighten that game up. Carroll 21, Northrop 13. So that game's tight. Snyder's up 20-0 on Southside. And New Haven 27, Leo 3. So that game's kind of getting out of hand. And then Wayne and Northside have tightened up, Joe. Wayne 9, Northside 7. Northside's looking for that first win.
Liam Fletcher back in kick return, waits at the 15-yard line. Howe ready to kick it away for Luers. They've scored a touchdown now, high end over end. Fletcher runs up to it, has it at the 10, at the 15. Now reverses back to the left side, trying to turn the corner, and hurdles his body out to about the 25-yard line. Ball popped free, but he was running out of bounds, so no harm, no foul. And here comes Concordia. Remember, they did not have much success, Joe, starting the second half with the football.
And you look at the scoreboard right now, and it's 21-10 Concordia. But dare I say it, this is danger time for Concordia. All the momentum is with Bishop Luers, and that last Concordia drive, Luers shut them down. This is a big series for Concordia. Concordia needs to move the football here and try to get some points, because if they don't and give the ball back to Luers, you're going to see more Hambright, and this game's going to get closer.
Two of the linebackers for Luers, Chance Richard and Dom Easley. Richard had 10 tackles last week against Homestead. Here's a straight-ahead carry across the 30, and that'll be Curligran out to about the 32-yard line, so a positive gain of about 4.
I tell you, Jimmy Sturm is a player, 6'3", 248, and that Sturm name's so familiar to Bishop Luers fans, but boy, he could be a little bit of a prospect too, Joe.
I was kidding Coach Lindsay. I said, you got Geely forever. They've been, you got Sturm. Just go on and on, right?
Good Bishop Luers
Good
names.
Catholic families.
Yeah.
2nd and 5, a pickup of 5, short drop. Here's Morrison, loads, fires in a slot, and got a catch. That was well bracketed defensively by Luers, but a catch at the 39 and good for a first down.
And that was a tough catch that time out there making that play. It looked like it was Kohlinger making that catch, Joe. That was a tough catch because he had a linebacker draped on his back, and you love it when you have those slots that are strong with those hands, because you have the confidence to kind of stick that ball in there because you know your guy's going to go get it.
Maller's flanked to the right side. He's got a teammate split wide of him. 2 wide either side of the field on first down, and Morrison wants to throw again. Throws left side. He's got Kohlinger, and backpedals for the catch inside the 30 to the 25 and down to the 22-yard line.
And just beats Luers on the seam route again, just like the first touchdown, Joe, when they set it up with the big seam pass. Morrison looks right, takes the safety right, and comes right back to that seam, and Luers has got to find an answer for that, but Morrison throws a nice ball too, doesn't he?
Got to believe that they used Mallers as a little bit of a decoy. Looked to him initially, then checked off and threw back, and Kohlinger, nice job backpedaling, caught the ball, and picks up another 6-7 yards. Mallers stays in, part of a trips package wide to the right. 1st and 10 at the Luers 23-yard line. Now motion right to left behind the line of scrimmage. Kohlinger works back to the right side, and Morrison wants to screen the ball, throws low, but a catch. I think that's Grahovic in traffic, maybe gets down close to the 21, maybe to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, Luers didn't get fooled that time. DJ Harris, the senior linebacker, 6'1", 206, holds his ground and makes the play on that. So better defense in the first half. Concordia had some success with the screen, but that time Luers does a nice job of shutting that play down.
Not a lot of room that time, but it's still a gain of 3. Not really gone a lot to Curligran. I thought he was limping just very slightly back to the huddle that time.
It's not quite right.
Too wide either side of the field, but a tough kid is going to hang in there. 3:35 remaining in the third quarter. Option run. Now in the reverse, they work back to the near side. Cut at the 20 to the 15 to the 10, and angled out of bounds at the 9-yard line. And let's see if that is Groho. No, it's going to be Mellors on the reverse.
Great play call. Curligran's out there. You're right, Joe. He's limping. They run option to Curligran and bring Mellors back around the other way. And the Bishop Luers defensive end bites it hook, line, and sinker and sells out. Great play call for Concordia. Now an opportunity in the red zone to get some points.
First and goal for Concordia at the 8-yard line of Bishop Luers. Grohovac in, split wide to the right, up in the slot to the right side is Mellors. Under center, now play action fake, and here's Morrison being pursued, throws to the backside and as a catch, but is it in bounds? Tyson Chambers came up with a catch, but I believe he was over the end line.
Yeah, I like the play call. It was the old boot drag, and Morrison had 2 receivers that time, and I thought he overthrew Mellors, and you're right, Chambers goes up and about got the catch, but he was out of bounds. But, you know, it just makes me realize how important play calling is. I think play calling is one of the most underestimated parts of offensive football.
And creative play calling. Yeah. You know, it's really, you don't see it that much. Bordner comes in. He's part of the 3-wide package to the right side. Curligran stays in as the running back. Out of the pistol now, Morrison, short drop, throws to the right on the quick slants, got a catch, and they will have a touchdown. So Concordia answers the Bishop Luers touchdown with one of their own at the 2:56 mark. It'll be a touchdown toss of 8 yards.
Yeah, great pass that time, and I was surprised Luers was that far off. It looked like Noah Parrish caught that touchdown. I have to double check on that, but how about the pass from Morrison? You know, Luers gave so much room, and he just stuck it in there with the slant, and that was a big touchdown for Concordia because Luers had some momentum.
Morrison now on to attempt the extra point, right-footed kick. He's got the distance, and it hit the upright, and it is no good. Boy, one official looked at the other to see which way it caromed. No good. It'll remain a 27-10 Concordia lead with a timeout down below. We'll step out. IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
True Goodness Foods by Meyer are made from the philosophy of less and more. Less of what you don't want and more of what you do. There are no hormones or antibiotics in the raising of our needs. And True Goodness Foods never contain any high fructose corn syrup, artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. We use wholesome ingredients like peanut butter made from just peanuts and tortilla chips made from corn, oil, and salt. That's it. And at low Meyer prices, True Goodness is good food your family will love. Find True Goodness Foods at your local Meyer today.
And now back to the IHSAA football game of the week with Joe Parsons on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
So Concordia drives for a touchdown. Grohovic, by the way, on the receiving end of that touchdown pass, 8 yards from Peter Morrison. And again, Morrison has done everything that Tim Manigault could ask tonight.
Yeah, very well schooled. Throws a nice catchable ball. You know, we talked about in the pregame, Joe, he's came in tonight completing over 60% of his passes. That's exceptional at the high school level. You know, he's thrown for 6 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. Good decision making, accurate, and a real leader. And I think he's been the difference tonight for Concordia.
Bustle back deep and kick return, waits inside the 20-yard line, not expecting a deep kick. And here it comes near side. That's handled by Gaston at the 30-yard line and crawls his way to the right. Did not hit the knee, but across the 35 up to about the 37, 38-yard line. So Bishop Luers with decent field position, still 2:50 on the clock. Late in this third quarter, they're down 17.
And we talked about play calling, and I can't help but think of Coach Donnelly when we talk about play calling. And, well, you guys are off to a fast start, huh?
Got a tough assignment tomorrow against Taylor, 12 noon, and tougher assignment might be the weather that's about to move in here.
Yeah, hopefully it moves through, so it'll be some good football tomorrow.
Jordan Brooks in wide to the left. He had 78 yards receiving last week against Homestead. As they'll go again to the running back, and here's Charlton, stepped out of one tackle, brought it across the 40 to the 41. That'll be a gain of about 1.5 yards. Pretty well defended by Concordia.
Yeah, and Bordner's tough at linebacker, Joe. 11 tackles last week. He has the ability to really scrape down and make those plays, and that time he just scraped and made that play. And that's what you want. You want your backer to be strong. You want him to be a real brute in the weight room with the armor, but you want him to have speed to track the plays down.
Bordner, one of the 3 interceptions that Concordia had last week as well against Snyder. Straight eye, the pitch comes left side. Here's Charlton looking for a block and hit hard across the 45, carried forward to the 46, maybe the 47-yard line. Charlton again, I like the running backs, both Hambright and Charlton. You know, they just go to that second gear when they hit that hole off tackle either side.
Yeah, both backs are hard runners. Charlton kind of glides, where Hambright's kind of like a
hammer.
Yeah, he's the hammer with the power back, and I think right now, I leave the hammer in the game and try to bang away if I'm Luers.
Luers trying to get just short of their own midfield on this 3rd down call, 3rd and long 2. Robbins, long count from the line of scrimmage now, looks to hand it off again. Charlton and didn't get there. Got about 1 yard, needed 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. And if you're Kyle Lindsey, do you go for it here?
Yeah, you have to go here. You're down 27-10. It's almost the 4th quarter, Joe. The way you run the football, you shorten the game, but when you're down, you got to take advantage of these opportunities. So this is Concordia's first chance to really maybe begin to put Bishop Luers to bed if they can get a stop here.
You know, the down marker looks like a short yard, but where the ball is placed, it looks closer to almost 2 yards.
I give the ball to Hambright here if I'm Luers.
Let's see now, straight eye formation again. Luers, they'll hand it off, and they will get there. Concordia came pouring through, and take your pick.
Wow, Drew Bordner. Looked like Bordner that time. Maybe Trey Freeman was in there, Joe, but Bordner's an all-conference linebacker, and that time Bordner drops his pads, and Hambright is a big, strong kid. And the minute Bordner put the pads on Hambright, he went down, Joe. So that's a huge defensive stop. It gives your offense the short field, and now with Peter Morrison, maybe a chance to put Bishop Luers away.
Both teams have had a 4th down stop now in this ball game, and that earlier one by Bishop Luers led to a Peyton Howe 29-yard field goal. Right now, Concordia's got it at the Luers 48 with under a minute time remaining in the 3rd quarter. Morrison out of the pistol now. Short drop, wants to throw. Looks over the middle. He's got a catch inside the 40 to the 39-yard line of Bishop Luers. That is close to a 1st down.
They're going to call it incomplete. Yeah, he had it. I thought he had it, Joe, but yeah, that's incomplete. And I think that was I think Bussell put a good hit on the receiver out there at that time. Looked like he had it and just lost it when he took it to the ground.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10. The clock stopped with 39.2 seconds remaining in this 3rd quarter. Morrison checked over to the sidelines to get the play call in from Tim Manigal. Play clock at 14. And they'll split 2 wide to the short side to the right, 2 wide to the left. 1 back set behind. They'll hand the ball off. Here's Curlegrand as he tries to test the middle and carries inside the 45, down to the 40, close to the 42-yard line.
He's a tough kid, and he's not quite right. And he's just going to ride right through it and play through it. I think he's one of my favorites. You know, we've done games over the years. Nobody plays harder, and he plays both sides of the ball, Joe.
It is going to bring up 3rd down and 5, and I'm not sure they're going to get a playoff here. We're down to 11 seconds, and Concordia may be content to take this game to the 4th quarter. We're down to 5 seconds, and they're still in the huddle. So it'll be a 27-10 lead for the Cadets. They'll have 3rd down and 5 at the Bishop Luers 43 when we return to Zollner Stadium. 27-10 our score. Cadets, this is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
The market goes up, the market goes down. And if you're a typical investor, you may be playing games, trying to guess correctly when to buy, when to sell. That can be expensive and exhausting. Well, what if there was a local company with tons of investment experience to help you take some of the guesswork and worry out of investing? The name is Stifel, specializing in individual portfolio management.
We got the fast game
Stifel
tonight.
can help reduce the risk and worry of investing, building you a portfolio of quality, performing stocks and bonds. Give Stifel a call at 260-459-3989.
Just like your car, sometimes your laptop needs a tune-up. Or worse, a virus hit you, completely shutting down its functioning. But who do you turn to for quick help? The answer might surprise you. Alpha PC Mac Computer. We're the other guys, and we're better. With realistic turnaround times for service, more reasonable rates, friendlier service that works with you and solving problems. Don't settle for the other guys. Try Alpha PC Mac Computer, located just 2 blocks north of Glenbrook Mall. Call 444-3557 and ask for Dave.
Let's get back to the stadium with more IHSAA football action and Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
With Joe Auburn, welcome back to Zollner Stadium. Concordia by 17, but 3rd down and 5 now from the Luers, 43-yard line. Morrison in, looks, play action fake, wants to throw. The slant is there. Grahovic covers up on the ball, spins inside the 35, down close to the 34, and a conversion call for the Cadets as they move the chains, 1st and 10.
Well, Grahovic's tough, isn't he? 5'11", 165, just always makes himself available. And it seems like Morrison and Grahovic really have that bond throwing that football together.
Then you throw Mallers into the equation as well. Good, tough, you know, they're not flashy. They're just solid. And a part of it, Joe, I think they run great routes.
They do. They run great routes, and they catch everything, it seems like. And I just think that, combined with the accuracy of Morrison, make them very dangerous.
So they've got now another 1st down, 2 wide either side of the field as they'll look to run the ball. Curligran, he's got running room off to the right. He's inside the 25, down to the 20-yard line as he angles down to the 19-yard line and ran pretty strong that time.
Yeah, he did, and that passing game begins to open up those run lanes. And Curligan just motors downfield that time. And also, that offensive line for Concordia, Joe, the offensive line's doing a nice job. They're averaging, 240 across the front, and I really like Trey Freeman.
Well, he's going to open up some holes at 285.
Yeah, and you know what? You say 285, but he moves well for 285. He has good feet, and I've seen him trap and do some different things out there that have been impressive.
Now, spread offense once again, 2 wide either side. As Morrison looks to Curligan, Flake, and he rolls to his left, and the out pattern is there. And I thought that was Tyson Chambers perhaps on the receiving end.
Great pass.
He'll bring the ball inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. You're right to the outside, and where only the receiver is going to have a chance to grab it.
I'm telling you, the play action and, running the play action and rotating the opposite side of your throwing arm to come out and then to set your feet and throw the football, that was impressive from as far as the aspect of footwork, because so much of playing the position is footwork, and it's not easy to roll that opposite side and to throw that football.
That was good for a gain. They pick up a 5 yards, 2nd down and 5 as we approach 10 minutes, time remaining in regulation, if you can believe that. Empty backfield now. Morrison, pump fake to the right, throws back to the left, and that will be a spin play after the catch inside the 10 to the 8, and another 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal, and Bordner, I believe, on the catch that time.
Yeah, they like to line up Bordner at that H-back position, and they faked it to the right, Joe, and came back to himself. The play calling, I mean, I don't know if I'm impressed with more of Morrison or the play calling. The play calling puts these kids in the best position to succeed.
Spotted back at the 9, but it's still 1st and goal, and Morrison, just looking right, looking off, looking left, and on target when he decides to deliver that football. One back look once again with Curligrand. He sets up back at the 14-yard line under center. Is Morrison. He'll drop the throw, looking, now flush to his right side, buying time, being pursued, throws it to the corner and away. Just got rid of that ball, nothing there, and now there's a late hit. Sturm, I believe, may be guilty of the late hit out of bounds on Morrison.
Yeah, they're going to get him that's just a silly play by Sturm, because he chased him all the way across the field to the sideline, Morrison made the right choice throwing the football away, and Bishop Luers bails him out. And that's going to put the ball right down by the goal line, and Concordia punches the ball in here. That might be all she wrote.
It'll be half the distance to the goal from the 9 back inside the 5 is where they'll spot the ball. So it'll be first and goal, and let's call it from the 5.
I think it's tough for guys like Sturm. You're 6'3", 248. You've chased Morrison 20 yards across the field right at the very end. I got to at least touch you, right? I mean, I got to at least put my hands on you, right? Come on, Mr. Official.
That is going to draw a yellow flag.
I tell you, at every single level, though, don't they protect the quarterbacks now?
Yeah.
Wasn't like that when I played.
Curligran offset to the right. There's motion behind the line of scrimmage. Off tackle run. Curligran trying to bounce off a tackle, fighting for the goal line. Down close, but didn't get in.
I think if you give it to him one more time, you'll have a touchdown. But tough, hard-nosed runner. And, you know, Concordia's really come a long way with their program. I mean, over the years, we talk about the quarterback play, but even the defense, the play calling, they've come a long way with their program.
Sergio Davila in on the stop for the Knights. But it'll be Concordia knocking on the door with the clock approaching 8.5 minutes time remaining. And I cannot believe we're looking at just 8:45. I think 2 weeks ago, we were still in the first quarter.
Yeah, we were just getting warmed up. Yeah.
Curligran tight formation now, and there's motion off the right wing back. And did Morrison call his own number? And are waiting for the indication. Did he get in?
It's a fumble. I think it's a fumble.
And they think Bishop Luers has got the football, and they do.
Oh, wow.
So they change of possession, no score. It remains 27-10. And that's going to be good news, bad news for Bishop Luers, as they will have the football. But where are they going to spot it? At the 1? Or is it?
Oh, it went in the end zone. They must have recovered it in the end zone.
You.
It looked like Morrison fumbled the snap, Joe. That's what it looked like on that play.
So it'll be rolled a touchback and come out to the 20-yard line. And what a break for Bishop Luers when they needed one. They were on the ropes big time.
Yeah, big break. They were dead in the water. So now we'll see. Not much time left. They're going to have to probably put the ball in the air now.
So here we go. Robbins with new life. And still 8:26 remaining in regulation. Wants to throw. And flush to his right. Throws. A comeback catch is made. There's Bustle. He'll work across the 25 to the 26. That'll be a gain of about 6 yards.
A nice pass that time by Robbins to get the ball out to Bustle, but also a good job by Concordia to kind of contain that play. So Concordia is kind of playing a little bit soft, and they're going to allow Luers to get some yards here and trade that for the clock.
Second down and 4 for the Knights. And they've not really tried to go vertical downfield that much. Now they have a trips package wide to the left side on second down and 4. Robbins out of the shotgun formation, wants to throw again, steps up in the pocket, does throw to the right side as far as he can, and that one's knocked away, intended for Bustle.
And I like the play call. I like the one-on-one going after Concordia with Bustle. Just got to put a little bit more air onto the ball, and I think if you come back to that play, Joe, I think Bustle has a good chance to make a play for you if you're Bishop Luers.
Now it's third down and 4. The game clock did stop on the incompleted pass. Robbins did go over to the sideline also to check the play call. Well, they had a steady diet of the running game, Hambright and then Charlton, and now it's a shotgun formation once again for Robbins. And there was movement, and that's going to cost them 5 yards.
And that's Bustle out there, and I think it's just frustration, you know. He wants the ball so bad. He wants to make a play so bad that time he just, fire out of his stance.
But also, if you notice, Robbins kind of flinched a little bit like he was expecting the ball a half count earlier, and it never came. So now that'll back them up to third down and 9 and trying to get out to their own 30-yard line. Charlton remains in as the running back, offset to the left behind Zach Robbins at quarterback. Barking out the signals, now rolls to his left and looks, and he is sacked. Boy, they came coming.
Wow.
3 of the cadets. And take your pick again.
Wow, I tell you, they broke through the line that time, and I don't know if that was Bordner or who that was up in the air, Joe. It possibly could have been Andy Wade.
Yeah, Andy Wade was definitely there.
Andy Wade just blew the whole play up. I tell you, the defensive line's better for Concordia, too. You know, I saw the stats last week, and I thought, 3 interceptions by Snyder's quarterback? Well, if you get that kind of pressure, you tend to make mistakes.
Mallers and Grahovac back in punt return, waiting at the Bishop Luers 42. 2 yards deep in the end zone. Peyton Howe ready to punt the ball away now. Good delivery to him. Got the kick, line drive, end over end. That's fielded by Grahovic. Called a fair catch at the 41. I think he just wanted to make sure. Couldn't believe that great field position. Didn't want to take a chance, Joe.
Yeah, he could have run with that one, couldn't he? But, you know, you're probably right. They're going to probably line up here and grind that clock down with Curligran. You know, looking ahead for Concordia, I think Concordia can play with Carroll. Yeah, I think that's going to be a heck of a game. You know, Concordia has Wayne. They have Northrop.
They got Northrop next week, and by the way, we will be back here at Zollner Stadium.
That's going to be a good game, but you know, Concordia could easily end up, Joe, 6-3. I mean, I don't think that's out of the question.
1st and 10 now at the Knights 42-yard line. Actually, at the 41 is where they spot it. And let's see how Peter Morrison plays it conservatively. No, he's going to drop the throw. Steps up in the pocket, can't find anything. Now flush to his right, can run. Taking a late decision, throws the ball, and a catch. Grahovic has got it at the 15 to the 10 to the 5, and a touchdown. Do you believe that? 41 yards on the touchdown on a broken play. You know, Morrison looked like, and he was very close to the line of scrimmage before he delivered that ball, but just feathered it in nicely over the defense into the hands of Grahovic, and then ran the last 15 yards into the end zone.
You can tell Morrison and Grahovic have spent an awful lot of time together. Morrison calmly holds the football while Grahovic comes back and then breaks long. And that was a little bit of street ball, but that was also Morrison and Grahovic knowing what to expect out of each other, and another ball right on the money.
You love that, my friend.
I love that. I love the accuracy.
Morrison now comes on to attempt the extra point. Bordner is the holder. And the right-footed kick is on the way. That's angling a little bit, but good. So, point to 34. It's a lead of 24 points by Concordia here at home over Bishop Luers at the 7:06 mark. And we'll step out. IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 12:50 the ticket.
And now back to the IHSAA football game of the week with Joe Carson on Fox Sports 1250, the ticket.
Well, you've got to be nothing but just impressed by the resiliency of Concordia at every challenge presented, and especially after the missed opportunity inside the 1 yard line with a ball that was ruled a touchback, and then to get the ball right back and score immediately. And now it's a 34-10, biggest lead of the night for Concordia.
And a couple of updates, Joe, around the area. Third quarter now, Bishop Dwenger 21. Homestead 7, so Dwenger starting to flex their muscles. Carroll 28, Northrop 19 at the half, and Snyder 20, Southside nothing at the half, and Wayne 9, Northside 7 at the half.
Good return here by Bussell as a bounding ball hit high off the turf and caught at the 30-yard line by Bussell, and he hurries down the right sideline all the way into Concordia territory inside the 45. And they'll spot that ball inside the 40 at the 36-yard line of Concordia. But something that Bishop Luers really need. Now, in fact, they'll put it squarely on the 35 of the Cadets. So 1st and 10 for the Knights, and they need instant scores now down the stretch with 6:57 remaining, trailing at 34-10.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, Joe. He had 172 all-purpose yards last week, so...
You see why.
Yeah, you see why. Bussell's highly recruited player.
Carter Gilly wide to the right, but they'll run the ball, and here's an off-tackle run, a big one again, spinning away and stumbling inside the 20-yard line. That time was Jalen Carter. Charlton, I should say. Charlton has a good gain on first down, picks up a first down, and Luers not going away.
No, an opportunity to get some points and maybe an onside kick.
They'll spot that ball at the 18-yard line, 1st and 10. Still 6:44 remaining. Clock is moving. Geely will bring him up to the line of scrimmage, ready to snap that ball. Gilly stays wide to the short side to the right. Charlton to the running back, offset to the right. And here's Robbins, short drop, throws the fade to the left side. He's got Bustle for a touchdown. 18 yards just that quick at the 6:27 mark, and Luers on the board.
Wow, that was a great pass, and I don't know if was that Robbins, Joe, or was that Norman
Konopke?
That was Konopke, I believe, that time. What a heck of a throw, number 15, and that ball was on the money, and that was right in the seam to Bustle. So a quarterback change for Luers, and that was impressive, Joe. He's coming right back in the game. Dare I say it, where has he been?
So let's see, they'll try for 2 here, trailing it by 18, trying to get it still down to a 2-possession ball game. On the sweep, no, a counter run up the middle, and they did not get in. The officials ruled it. The try for 2 fails. It'll keep it 34-16, but an impressive quick drive by Bishop Luers on the 18-yard scoring strike from Norman Konopke, a sophomore at 6'1". The quick slant to Bustle makes it 34-16. We'll be back. IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 12:50 to ticket.
Did you know the IRS tax code now consists of nearly 80,000 pages of rules and regulations? It's enough to make you cry. But now there's real affordable help right here in Fort Wayne. Walbert Financial Management, a firm that cuts right through the legalese, working hard for you, providing external solutions to bookkeeping and tax problems. Walbert Financial Management, taking flawless care of all your personal reporting, P&L, or even individual tax requirements. Give them a call, 260-459-2240. You'll sleep better at night being assured everything's taken care of. Walbert Financial Management.
Let's get back to the stadium with more IHSAA football action and Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Well, the offensive taking over for both teams in this fourth quarter now, 34-16 ball game, and Luers has got to have the ball back, you got to believe.
Yeah, onside kick here, maybe get some more momentum with that offense, but how about the sophomore quarterback off the bench? And Joe, that was well done. And you know what? If he can throw the football like that, maybe you consider starting him next week.
Howe is going to tee it up for an onside attempt. Coming to the near side, Concordia with 10 men, really 9 men up within about 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. Here comes the kick, bounding ball. That's fielded at the 44, and they're just going to down it right there to make sure. So Concordia gets the ball back, 6:23 remains.
And quickly, let's roll through the scores. New Haven 27, Leo 3 in the third quarter. Bishop Dwenger 21, Homestead 7 in the third quarter. Carroll 28, Northrop 19 at halftime. So a typical Northrop game, just speed all over, a track meet, a lot of points over there. South Adams 34, Heritage nothing. Wow, that's a big one for South Adams. Snyder 20, Southside nothing. Wayne 9, Northside 7. Belmont's rolling Norwell 35-7, and Woodland 41-6 over Bluffton.
And here's 34-16 in favor of Concordia. They run the ball, not much there. As a gain maybe for a yard and a half. One official marks the ball across the 45. Another's going to move it back to the 45. So it'll be a tough yard pickup, 2nd down and 9, let's call it.
See if Luers can get some stops here and maybe get the ball back and get that offense back out there. If I'm Concordia, maybe some short passes, but I'm basically keeping the ball on the ground here. And with that weather coming, Joe, it might be a good thing that this game is been a fast one, because there's some serious weather coming this way.
3 wide to the left side for the Cadets. Clock is the ally of Concordia right now. As Morrison drops the throw, looks near side, throws the fake. Grahovic looking for the ball and fights for it. Knocked away. Gaston was there, hand fighting for the ball. Good play defensively, as it'll be 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, Gaston closed down on Grahovic that time. I thought Grahovic had the step on him. but Gaston has the speed to recover and knock that football away.
That's one of those interesting matchups, isn't it?
It is a good matchup, and Luers has shifted their defense around, but I would leave Gaston on Grahovic, and I think Gaston could possibly handle Grahovic one-on-one. And I'm surprised, actually, that Concordia is throwing the deep ball there. I thought they'd keep the ball on the ground and run some clock.
5:32 remains. The umbrella's going up as the rains are starting to move in. And here's the out pass thrown far side. A catch is made. That'll be a gain only to midfield and now a yard deep into Bishop Luers territory. So it'll bring up 4th down, and Bishop Luers not done yet with 5:20 remaining. They're going to get the ball again, trailing it by 18 points.
Yeah, and what do? Do you punt the ball here or you just run the football? I think I just punt the ball away. I don't want to give Luers a short field, especially with the sophomore quarterback who all of a sudden throws a touchdown. He's feeling good about themselves.
It is 4th down and 4. It looks like the Cadets are going to roll the dice and run a play.
I think this is a mistake. I'd punt the ball here.
And they've got an empty backfield for Morrison. He may kick out of this.
Yeah.
Let's see how this play unfolds. Backing up a little bit. He does punch the ball, kicked it away, nobody back deep. Takes a high bounce, short roll inside the 15 down to about the 10. And that'll leave 4:36 remaining to be played in regulation. Luers with the ball again. 4:36 on the clock. They trail it 34-16.
Well, you called that one, huh?
Even a blind squirrel, right?
Now I'm going to put you on the spot. How about Purdue and my Bearcats tomorrow?
Ouch.
I got to be honest. I
Ouch.
tell you what. I did something, luckily I haven't gotten any feedback yet. I called the Daryl Hazel show last night, and I asked him a question. What was he most concerned about with Cincinnati? But I also asked him a question that made him squirm. I said, Coach, this is fertile ground up here in Fort Wayne for recruiting. I said, we do games every week on the radio, and we just ooh and ah over the talent. Where is Purdue pulling down the kids up here?
There was encroachment at the line of scrimmage. And that will cost Concordia 5 yards.
So I know you squirmed a little bit. Oh, we're up there recruiting them. No, you're not. Because you know what? Think about what Purdue's had over the years,
Yeah,
Joe. They've had Rod
Woodson.
Woodson, Bernard Pollard, great names. And you know what? These kids now are getting taken away by Ohio State, Michigan State, Notre Dame. Purdue is not up here. And I think Coach Hazel, now it's a big year for Coach Hazel. He's got to get some wins, especially tomorrow. Get your butt up here and start recruiting this area.
And what really hurts, they've had, a legacy of great quarterbacks plays, and they just haven't seen that the last few years. Here's Konepke wanting to throw the ball. Time of the pocket, throws over the middle. He's got a man out there, and there's a ball that was caught for a moment and then separated as the intended receiver downfield was Zach Wood. He had a chance with the ball at about inside the Concordia 46, but incomplete. That'll stop the clock with 4:29 to play.
Wood's got to make that catch, and I like Konepke. Konepke muscles the football out there, and I think Luers has found their quarterback. That was an excellent pass.
Second down and 5 after the penalty that made it 1st and 5. So they really felt like they had a shot there. And Joe, I'm not sure we've got the right quarterback in there right now. It's Reese Zay, who's a 6-foot quarterback. Reese Zay is the quarterback as he looks to throw the ball. The out pattern on the bubble screen to the right side. And here's a run after the catch. And still, I believe that's Bussell trying to work across the 15. Got a couple of yards out to about the 17 or 18, but stayed in bounds. And that clock will keep running. And it'll run inside of 4 minutes before this snap of the football.
Yeah, and Zay's a junior, a little bigger kid. He goes 6 feet, 190 pounds. So they've got some different kids. He throws a nice ball, too. They've got some different kids to work with.
Moving in, the weather that we've had some sprinkles. A lot of the fans have departed. It's 3rd down and 5. Luers trying to get out to their own 20-yard line. Here's a run to the right side by Charlton. Turns the corner. Does he get to the first down stick? And indication is that he does, or close to it. Let's wait and see. I believe they're going to spot that ball just across the 20 to the 21, and they'll move the chains with 3:37 remaining.
It's going to be a good win by Concordia, Joe. I don't think Luers is going to catch up here, but a game where they came in, really a desperation game for both teams. Concordia comes in 1-2 and gets a good, hard-fought win here. And now Northrop next week, and maybe a chance for Concordia to begin to build some momentum.
That should be another good matchup. And interesting, Jason Dorfler will be going against his dad in a sense, who's the athletic director here.
Yeah.
Tough week in the Dorfler family. Here's a nice run up the middle. Charlton steps off across the tackler, and he's in the clear. Up the midfield, down the right sidelines, and all the way into Concordia territory inside the 40 to the 35, down to about the 33-yard line, depending where he stepped out of bounds. And again, Luers not going quietly, trying to get on the board yet again late if they can to make it interesting.
Well, he's a good-looking athlete, too. 6'3", 196 pounds. Another great running back, and this area just seems to be blessed. It seems to be the year of the running back.
A lot of pride in this Bishop Luers legacy of running backs and quarterbacks. Zay is the quarterback. Reese Zay in there now, the third quarterback used tonight by Kyle Lindsay. Wants to throw, steps up on the pocket. Hit as he threw the ball. That one never had a chance. Good pressure. And let's check the number for Concordia that made that. That might be Andy Wade
Looked
again.
like Wade again. I tell you, Wade's a force. Wade's a tough kid.
I like him, Joe, because the other thing with Wade is,
6'2", 205. Man, plays about 225. And good feet and good strength.
Second down and 10 with the ball still at the 32-yard line. Zay barking out the signals now, too wide to the left side. Short drop, wants to set up the screen, and has it to Charlton. And again, open field tackle coming up there to make a big hit. They'll have a positive gain, but that stopped a big gain.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Curligran to come up. I think that wasn't our guy. That was his brother that time that
Preston.
comes up. Yeah, that was Preston that made the play, and that's a big play. That's going to slow down the Luers drive, because if he doesn't make that play, that's probably a touchdown for Bishop Luers.
Spotted at the 30-yard line. That's a net gain of 3 yards, so third down and 7 coming up. Carter Gilly wide to the right, the short side. And here comes Gaston, part of a package 2 wide, including a bustle up on the slot to the left side, as they now might be changing the play call at the line of scrimmage. Play clock is at 1 and ran out, but let's see, they may have called timeout with 1:57 remaining in the ball game, as Joe Auburn gets ready to head down on the sidelines to talk to Concordia. And we'll take a timeout. 34-16 remains our score. Under 2 minutes remains. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
At Indiana Michigan Power, we're building the future of energy delivery. From renewable energy to grid innovation, we're developing a smarter way to power your life. With the addition of 4 new solar power plants, you can take comfort knowing that more than half of the electricity that we generate is emissions-free. I&M is honored to sponsor local area high school sporting events and proud to be your hometown energy provider. You're listening to the high school football game of the week on WGL Fort Wayne, Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Third down and 7 for Bishop Luers now. Under 2 minutes time remaining. Zay out of the shotgun formation. Charlton, the running back, flanked to his right side. Here's the drop by Zay, looking to throw, dances, throws a high ball near side, looking for Bustle, scramble for it, knocked away, and that'll bring up fourth down and 7. Well, last year it was Bishop Luers winning 42-35 in the regular season. That was their third straight win over the Cadets. The last Concordia win came 17-14 in 2013. That came at Luers Field. And the Cadets also won here in the sectional that year in 2013, 42-21. So it's been a series of runs, although if you look over the last 30 years, Bishop Luers has dominated, 28 wins to just 5 for Concordia. But here tonight it's 34-16 with 1:50 remaining in 4th and 7. Zay with the signals and drops to throw over to the middle, looking, he's got a man, and that one is incomplete, and that will be it for Concordia. It will be, they were going to Anton Berry, the 6'6" tight end, incomplete on the 4th down stop. And Bishop Luers will take over or I should say Concordia will take over the football at their own 30-yard line. Second 4th down stop of the night by the Cadets. And we will see the offensive unit come in, and it'll be interesting to see if Bishop Luers will use up any of their remaining timeouts, as here come the Cadets up to the line of scrimmage. Umbrella still in evidence here tonight, and a lot of the remaining crowd starting to head to the exits as well. They'll run the ball. Curligran up the middle, stacked up. Nudges forward across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It'll be a positive gain, and clock continues to run inside of 90 seconds now. So talking a gain of 4 yards, second down and 6 coming up. Sergio Davila credited in on the stop for Bishop Luers. A couple of more snaps of the football. Chris Kleipkin, our referee, looking to the near side. Play clock is at 12 as Morrison checked over the sidelines. Tim Manigault standing about 3 yards onto the field. So the play call is in, and we're under a minute time remaining. Second down and 6, let's call it. Again, they'll run the ball. And Bishop Luers is going to stop that for a loss to bring up third down and even longer, but 48 seconds is all that remains. Let's spot that ball at the 33-yard line. Play clock is running 30 seconds. There's a differential from the game clock about 6 seconds. So no sense of urgency now for Concordia. They're taking as much time off the play clock as they can. Morrison just heads back into the huddle with 15 seconds on the play clock and 19 on the game. Too wide to the left, but you expect to see some kind of a run. In fact, they may just take a knee. Curligran backed up a couple of yards, and it will be the kneel down with 5 seconds, and that is going to be it. And then will be a ball game. It'll be a win for Concordia here at home, winning it by a final score of 34-16 over the 9th-ranked Bishop Luers Knights. So Joe Walburn will be down on the field, looking to check in with Tim Manigault. We have the meeting at midfield among the teams, exchanging the handshakes. And we'll see if we can get a couple of players on as well. Maybe Peter Morrison, who just played well, really managed the ball game, I thought, so very well tonight. And let's go over and check in. We've got Joe Walburn.
Joe, I'm down here with Coach Manigault. A couple of tough games early on in the season, but you guys were so competitive and played tough. How big was the win tonight? And a win over a good program to get to 2-2.
Oh, well, they're all big. Pretty pleased with the effort. We always try to here look at this as more than just a scoreboard deal, you know, and frankly, there are some things that we need to improve on after this game. I thought our defense played really well. Offensively, we were, almost honestly a little sloppy, so it was good. Obviously, it's great to win, and we'll enjoy this one. But we have miles to go before we're happy with where we are.
Sure, absolutely. You know, Joe Parsons, I always talk about, we come out here, we're always impressed with how well schooled your quarterback is. And it seemed like tonight, Morrison played well and really had command, not only throwing the football, but running the football.
He did. He's got a good grasp of the offense. He's, he's a senior, so he's been around what we do for the last 4 years, and he's really kind of new at starting. This is only his 4th start, but he's played the position for a while, so he does a nice job for us.
And lastly, you talked about your defense. They were excellent tonight. You know, how do you deal? You know, we were looking through the depth chart, and you have 4 guys that play both ways. You know, with the conference being so tough and so physical, you know, how do you deal with that, Coach? And how do you rotate players and try to keep kids fresh when you start off with Homestead and Snyder in the first 3 weeks?
It's just a reality of where we are. We're going to be playing kids 2 ways. They know that. It's a mindset we have. And I think most of the time our guys grasp that. Tonight we were playing a team that also does that. So that was to our advantage, more so than when we play some of the big 6A schools.
Well, congratulations, Coach. One of the better coaches in the area, Joe. Coach Manigault. He always wants his guys to do a little bit better. He has that Lou Holtz in him, but that's a good win tonight. Beating Bishop Luers and getting to 2-2 is big for Concordia.
Joe Walburn down with Coach Tim Manigault as we'll head to our Walburn Financial Management postgame show. 34-16 the final as Concordia wins a big one here tonight at home. And we're having a team meeting. I know Joe would love to get maybe a couple of players on. Let's tell you what, let's take a commercial timeout, and we'll be back with our postgame show presentation. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
American families are facing a major problem nowadays. It's called extreme student debt. It's affecting graduating students, even those with jobs, for years and years, trying to pay off their student loans. But there is help available to students in Northeast Indiana. From nonprofit Cuesta Education Foundation, Cuesta is ready to provide low-interest or even forgivable loans to qualified Northeast Indiana students. Take a second look. Check Cuesta to see if your student qualifies for a chance at graduating with as little student loan debt possible. Cuesta can make a difference. And it all starts with simply logging on to QuestaFoundation.org. That's QuestaFoundation.org.
Every great team has focus and talent. At Parkview Sports Medicine, our focus is on you. Our roster includes everything from sports nutrition to keep your body fueled to orthopedic surgery, athletic rehab, and more. Parkview Sports Medicine's got you covered. You can trust us to bring together the top team of experts in sports medicine to improve the performance and treatment of every level of athlete. Go to parkview.com/sportsmedicine to learn more. Parkview Sports Medicine, upgrade your game.
You've heard the saying, it's all about the Benjamins. Nothing could be more true at Tom Steele Tire, where it's all about saving you money. For over 35 years, this family-owned business has been saving Fort Wayne drivers lots of Benjamins. Offering quality tires and ASE-certified mechanical service for your car, and that includes an oil change and tire rotation special, all for just $24.95. 2 convenient locations in Fort Wayne to serve you. Tom Steele Tire, not just a tire store, but a complete automotive center.
Here's some good policy from your local agent and Auto Owners Insurance. When your insurance policy comes from us, it comes with something extra, a real person. Don't buy from an insurance company with an 800 number and a voicemail menu. Auto Owners Insurance operates exclusively through local independent agencies here to help you 24/7. Now that's good policy.
Call Tom New and Schwander at Amstutz Insurance, with offices in Fort Wayne and Ossian, 260-622-4169.
Dude, I'm pretty nervous for this date.
Nah, you got this. First dates are all about finding what you have in common.
Like putting sweaters on dogs?
Sure, but I was thinking about going to a place you both like, where you both can get your favorites.
Oh, like McDonald's.
Exactly. But do yourself a favor. Please, don't tell any of your elevator jokes.
But they work on so many levels.
Here's a deal that's no joke. McDonald's new McPick 2 for $2.50 menu includes McDouble, 6-piece chicken McNuggets, small fries, and hot fudge sundae. Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Price is single item posted on menu.
True Goodness Foods by Meyer are made from the philosophy of less and more. Less of what you don't want and more of what you do. There are no hormones or antibiotics in the raising of our meat. And True Goodness Foods never contain any high fructose corn syrup, artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. We use wholesome ingredients like peanut butter made from just peanuts and tortilla chips made from corn, oil, and salt. That's it. And at low Meyer prices, True Goodness is good food your family will love. Find True Goodness Foods at your local Meyer today.
Now let's head back to the stadium with the Walburn Financial Management post-game show. Here's Joe Parson.
Joe, I'm down here with Peter Morrison. Peter, congratulations on the win, man. Couple touchdown passes, couple touchdown runs. You know, what were you seeing out there? You felt like you were really in command against a good Luers defense.
Well, they didn't disguise their defense as much, and, you know, what you saw is what you kind of got. So, I mean, I knew where some vacancies were, but then our receivers just went out and made some plays. I mean, some of my throws might not have been the best, but our receivers just went out and took the ball, and they really make me look good today.
It seems like every year we come out and do games, Concordia has a good quarterback, and I think you're another good quarterback in that line. They're well-schooled. You know, what it mean do you have the guys ahead of you over the years, and you could really learn from some of those guys?
I mean, definitely having Daniel Sparks and my brother David Morrison. I mean, my brother will come back, watch some of my film, and he'll, hey, Peter, you did this wrong, you know?
Yeah.
But, I mean, that really helps me out. And then I'll give Daniel a call sometimes because we're pretty close, and I'll say, hey, what do you think about this, or what do you think I should do better? And so it's just kind of like I have close connections with them, which helps them because they give me feedback that I really need.
You know, and lastly, you know, David, quarterback Concordia. What's it mean to you to come out here on Friday night and, you know, wear the colors of Concordia and to be the varsity quarterback?
It's a dream come true. I mean, it's something special to me, and I remember I was on the team when we won sectionals because I just got bumped up, was playing like the little dummy out in practice, you know. But
I've been there.
But yeah, when they lost, Thank you. When we lost in regionals, I was like, I want to get back there. I want to win state. I want to redeem number 2 because that's my brother's number. I just want to take it all the way to state. And so that's kind of the drive I've had coming up. Even though I wasn't playing quarterback the past couple years, that's the drive that helped me keep going.
Well, it's an awesome family tradition. Your brother would be proud of you tonight. And congratulations and good luck the rest of the year, Peter. And there you have it, Joe. Another excellent quarterback for Concordia. And just like his brother would be proud of him tonight, the way he played.
No question about it. Great job, Joe Walburn, down with Peter Morrison. He was the engineer that drove the train tonight for Concordia to this 34-16 victory. Let's take a look at the line score of the ball game. 7-0 Concordia at the end of the opening quarter. They led 21-3 at halftime. And it would be Luers finally getting on the board with a touchdown in the third quarter. Touchdown also, but they missed extra point. And by Concordia left it a 26-10 ball game after 3 quarters. Check a 27-7, 27-10 ball game after 3 quarters. And then Bishop Luers trying to gamble after a touchdown. The try for 2 was no good. And Concordia with a late touchdown also to make it a 34-16 final. We will take a timeout. We'll be back with look at other final scores elsewhere. We'll also recap the scoring of our game here tonight, but Concordia goes to 500 now with this win. They're 2-2. Bishop Luers now 1-3. And this is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Taxes, reports, and bookkeeping. What are you to do? You know you can't afford the big guys to keep you legal and solvent. Well, now there's Walburn Financial Management to save the day. Here's their number. You're going to want to remember this one, 260-459-2240. That's 459-2240. Why? Well, Walburn Financial Management specializes in the little guy. With reasonable rates and sensible retainers, Walburn Financial Management is simply perfect for the small business budget.
The market goes up, the market goes down. And if you're a typical investor, you may be playing games, trying to guess correctly when to buy, when to sell. That can be expensive and exhausting. Well, what if there was a local company with tons of investment experience to help you take some of the guesswork and worry out of investing? The name is Stifel, specializing in individual portfolio management. Stifel can help reduce the risk and worry of investing, building you a portfolio of quality, performing stocks and bonds. Give Stifel a call at 260-459-3989.
Just like your car, sometimes your laptop needs a tune-up. Or worse, a virus hit you, completely shutting down its functioning. But who do you turn to for quick help? The answer might surprise you. Alpha PC Mac Computer. We're the other guys, and we're better. With realistic turnaround times for service, more reasonable rates, friendlier service that works with you and solving problems. Don't settle for the other guys. Try Alpha PC Mac Computer, located just 2 blocks north of Glenbrook Mall. Call 444-3557 and ask for Dave.
Here's a money-saving tip from Momper, the #1 name in insulation since 1956. Exposed attic ceiling joists and ductwork, or new snow that quickly melts off your roof, means you need to add insulation. We'll fill empty sidewall cavities with insulation, even through masonry, aluminum, or vinyl siding with no unsightly holes. Plus, we'll seal your crawl space with urethane foam for a total insulation package. Call Momper now for a free, no-obligation energy analysis of your home.
Where do savvy sports fans in the Summit City go when they need to know more than just the score? It's an easy choice. No other media outlet covers the local sports scene like the Journal-Gazette. You get 7-day sideline coverage from the area's most experienced and knowledgeable sports staff. It's a commitment to Fort Wayne that the Journal-Gazette takes very seriously. When you need to know the story behind the story, nobody delivers the goods each morning like the Journal-Gazette. And even when you're on the go, you can still catch up on the latest sports news online at www.journalgazette.net or from your mobile device at www.jgmobile.net. Start your sports day right, every day, 7 days a week with the Journal-Gazette.
No network is better equipped than Fios from Frontier to handle all of your devices. Get Fios TV, Internet, and voice from Frontier for $89.99 per month for 12 months with 2-year agreement and qualifying new services, and you'll receive up to a $400 Amazon.com gift card. Call 1-888-FRONTIER. Limited time offer for qualifying services, subject to availability. Amazon.com gift card requires a 2-year agreement and maximum $400 early termination fee on new TV, new Internet, and new voice services. Taxes, fees, and other restrictions apply. Fios Marks owned by Verizon Trademark Services, LLC, and used under license. See offer for details.
And now back to the IHSAA football game of the week with Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Crowd filing out of here, Zollner Stadium, 34-16, the final with Joe Auburn. Looking back, final comments about our ball game here tonight. Let's pick up, it was 21-10, headed into the 21-3 at halftime. 21-10 then as Hembright came in with a touchdown, 13 yards at the 5:52 mark. Morrison, though, and I thought that was a key, Joe, he countered with a Grahovic touchdown pass, 8 yards at 2:56 to make it 27-10 again, had a fourth down stop. Then Morrison to Grahovic again, back-to-back touchdowns at the 7:06 mark in the fourth quarter, make it 34-10, and Luers got a late touchdown, Konopke to Bussell with 6:27 remaining. They tried for two, no good. 34-16 the final, and Concordia did everything they needed to against a very good ninth-ranked Bishop Luers team. You know, Concordia ranked 22, but they get the win here at home.
Concordia is a good football team, and you know they had that tough loss with Homestead, which they really felt like they had that game won, and really at times toe-to-toe with Snyder. And I think Concordia is extremely underrated. I think Concordia was probably the best 1-2 team possibly in the state coming in. And looking ahead, you know, maybe Dwanger will, physically might give Concordia problems, but the rest of the games are very, very winnable. And I wouldn't be surprised if Concordia, jumped up to 6-3 and made some noise in the playoffs. Well coached. Of all the teams we go and see each year, I love the play calling that Concordia does the most. I think they put their quarterbacks in the position to succeed. I think Peter Morrison, we had his brother David Morrison a few years ago. We had Daniel Sparks, and it's just like the beat continues on with these quarterbacks for Concordia. And when you have a back with Curligan, that makes all the difference in the world because the defense has to be honest. So impressed with Concordia. I think Concordia was also physical on the defensive line, Joe, and I think this is a team that's going to make some noise.
See if you got any finals to report elsewhere.
Yeah, we'll go through the scores quickly here. And first of all, out in the county, I'll tell you what, New Haven just put the wood to Leo tonight, and I thought that game was going to be a lot more competitive. I mean, New Haven was 41-3 over Leo, so New Haven got the job done out there. Last report we had on the southwest side of town, it was Bishop Dwanger 27, Homestead 13, so that surprised me. I thought Homestead would really come in and be able to run the football, but it's so tough if you don't have balance. And I think Dwanger kind of went under the radar, had close game with Northside and didn't really seem to put the wood to Wayne and Northside. Well, they got on the buses, and the Saints came marching in tonight, and we'll see if that score holds. But good score for Bishop Dwanger. Over at South, it was the last report we had late in the third. It was Snyder 26, Southside 6. So, maybe South's competitive and South's hanging around. Belmont won big tonight. And then also a good game over just across town here over at Northside. Last report we had, it was Wayne 9, Northside 7. So that's a good matchup. Carroll's beginning to kind of stretch out against Northrop. I watched that game closely because I felt like Northrop had the personnel to really hang with Carroll this year. But last report we got on that, late in the third, it's Carroll 35, Northrop 19. And I thought that game would be a little bit tighter. So really, as you look around the conference, Dwanger's flexing the muscles. Looks like it's going to probably be Snyder and Dwanger again. Carroll's doing better. Carroll's kind of righted the ship after the beat down from Snyder, and then along comes Concordia. So you're beginning to kind of see the separation and what teams are going to do as we march on. And I hate to say it, it's week 4 already. Another 3, 4, 5 weeks.
It's flying by.
We're getting ready for the playoffs. So you really want to begin to cement your position in this conference. And tonight for Concordia, it's huge to get to 2-2. And for Bishop Luers, it's tough to get on those buses and be 1-3.
Yeah, that program is not used to being 1-3, certainly. We will be back here to Zollner Stadium next Friday night, and it'll be the reunion of Dorflers, in a manner of speaking, because we will see Concordia home against Jason Dorfler's Northrop Bruins. That'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff here at Zollner Stadium. Our pregame show begins at 6:45. Good one here tonight.
Yeah, good one here tonight. We've had good ones all season long, and I think next week will be good. I think Northrop's a dangerous team. You got Shanley at quarterback, and I love Joey Books on the defensive side for Northrop. So that should be another good matchup. And as we talked about, the conference is tough from top to bottom.
Glad you could join us here tonight. Special thanks to our studio producer. His name was Patrick the Prince Plummer. And until Friday night, for Joe Auburn, I'm Joe Parsons. So long, everybody, and thanks so very much for listening.
You've been listening to IHSAA football, presented by Parkview Sports Medicine, a winning combination with the IHSAA, and Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket. Proud sponsors of tonight's game also include Meyer, proud supporters of youth sports, Momper Insulation in its 60th year of quality professional insulation, Walburn Financial Management, providing affordable solutions to bookkeeping and tax problems, Midwest America Credit Union, altogether better, Indiana Michigan Power, our power is our people, Amstutz Insurance, finally a firm that works for you, Jefferson Point, shopping with a special point of view, Questa Education Foundation, thinking of college? Help to finance your education, think Questa, Glenbrook Dodge, your #1 source for Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep in Fort Wayne, McDonald's, I'm still loving it, Stiefel, a firm of choice, Alpha PC Mac Computer, we're the other guys, better, friendlier, Aaron Chiropractic, offering relief from neck and back pain, Tom Steel Tire Service, building trust with customers for over 30 years, and special promotional consideration by the Fort Wayne Journal-Gazette. Nobody delivers the goods each morning like the Journal-Gazette. This has been a special high school sports presentation of Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.